All right, we're live and all that good stuff.
Living live vida loca. I don't know.
Let's see what you did there.
That's really
Whoop,
good.
whoop. Whoop, whoop.
97.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were actually starting the show. I was thrown off there for a second.
Oh, this is just the pre-show?
Yeah, I forgot that we were just starting the live stream.
I thought we were already on the pre-show.
Well, we were on the pre-show. Not to be confused with the
Derek's
pre-
like,
Yes.
Derek's
Yeah,
like, so I still don't get to drink my fucking shot.
I know, Derek's over here already,
Thinking
too.
the same fucking thing.
It's all right. The midway point, and we come back and we do another shot. You know.
Dude, I drug out my whole box of ICP merchandise for this. If you want to like show some stuff off.
That shirt you have on top right there is the shirt that I'm missing.
This one?
Yeah.
Maybe it's yours. I'm pretty sure I had one.
Mine is not that good quality at all.
You know what? I never wore this shirt because I used to always buy extra large for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
This shirt's a large, and I was like, "Fuck that! I never wear
Yeah,
that."
that's true.
For real.
Now you wear small.
Yeah,
and medium.
exactly. I would never buy an XL or a large now.
Yeah, that's the shirt. That's the one that I saved out of all of them. I got rid of all of them. I saved that one because I went to the first gathering.
I remember you wearing that shirt a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome shirt. Yeah, man, these shirts going through these brought back a lot of memories. I kept all my ticket stubs. I have like 50 of them.
This
I have all those. We should do this on the air. Let's start.
I was
fucking
like,
show.
what the fuck is going on?
All right,
Yeah.
we'll just start. We'll figure it out. Scott, are you going to bring us in as usual?
Sure. How do you want? Are we doing this any differently, or?
I don't think so. Just go.
All
for
right.
it.
Fuck it.
Hold on. Well, you just normal. Let me bring up Audacity here.
Oh, okay. I figured you were all.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
In a while.
All right, so let's give a 5-second moment of silence for Audacity.
R.I.P. to nothing. All right, go.
Hold on. Fuck. Already.
Oh my lord, we are back with the infamous Juggalo episode.
Hold on, dude. Hold on.
Okay.
I already
All right.
told you I already screwed up something here.
Oh, all I heard was hold on. I guess I didn't realize that, man.
I was messing
All
around.
right. Fucking. Well, there you go. Good thing I got that shitty one out of the way.
It's not getting any better than that. Come on.
All right.
Hold on.
Yes. Delicious Diet Fago Cola.
I got my OE.
OE. Look, I got this. Look at this cool cup I got at Walmart.
Nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Kind of cool.
And it came with little plastic ice cubes that look like Jason heads.
Nah, that's cool.
Damn. That's pretty sweet.
All right, here we go. We're take number 2 of starting silence and
Yeah.
all that good stuff. Here we go.
Whoop whoop! We're back with the 17th episode of the Unknown Podcast. I can't believe we're doing this. What, 2 months later?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. No, it was like late July, so we'll go a month and a half then. Something like that. I don't know if I remember how to do this shit, to be honest. But
Well,
don't
you're doing it.
forget
That's
to
what
say, I think we all need to give a good whoop whoop right here.
Whoop,
So-
whoop,
Whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
whoop.
What up,
Whoopity,
bitches?
whoopity whoop. All right, sweet. That was very enthusiastic, especially by Brandon there. Say hi, Brandon.
What's up, everybody?
And of course, we also have the infant one smooth Juggalo smoothie over here.
Whoop, whoop, ninjas.
I forgot all the numbers that come after that, so we'll just go with one smooth Juggalo. And we're joined by Kyle from his the kind of clash. There we go.
Hey, what's up?
And his friend is it Derek? I already forgot.
Yes, sir. Whoop, whoop. What's up?
Oh,
Derek.
whoop, whoop.
Long time
Sweet.
Juggalo.
Long time, first time. Anyway, we're back.
He was a star of Ninja Land.
Correct.
Like the star.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
would
he
say.
wasn't the star. Okay.
He was the guy in the woods trying to sell the ninja guy something, and he got
And
punched.
special effects.
and special effects
Special effects.
and
Sound-
soundtrack.
Throwing leaves.
All right. Well, it's good to be back for episode 17. We've been talking about this one since what? Episode 2?
I think the very first episode. we brought
It
up.
started out as a joke, and
Yeah.
now we're doing it for
Pretty
real.
sure it was the very first episode.
Because all we did was talk like for probably at least a half hour straight about Juggalo shit.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Now we're gonna do it for a whole fucking show.
I guess we got to do our annual, whatever that means, shot, episodic shot. I forgot how to do this shit.
Freudian slip there.
Yeah. All right, go for it. What do you guys have for shots?
Fireball.
Fireball.
Oh, out of an Insane Clown Posse shot glass.
Oh man, I wish I had that. God
I
damn it.
like how you just kind of threw that out there. We didn't know. You saved that one.
Good one.
You are prepared.
I was.
Yeah, more than we
Good
thought.
More than
I
thought.
have. I don't have a shot glass on me, but I have Black Velvet, this shitty ass whiskey that I'm going to be mixing
not
with
that
my
bad.
Faygo. Oh, smoothie, you don't count. All right, let's do it.
Cheers.
Clink.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Clink.
clink. Cheers.
It tastes like shit. All right.
You know what? In addition to the shot, we also have to say what kind of Faygo we're drinking on for this episode. I got the Moon Mist.
All
I
right.
bought 3 of these things. I don't know why I needed 3 of them. I bought
We want
3
to
different
take a piss,
flavors. There's no way I'm gonna drink them all. But I got red. I started off with red pop.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
What do you got there, Kyle? Is it you guys sharing?
Yeah, we got a 3-liter of Diet Faygo Cola. We keep it real, ICP style.
Nice.
I
know
bought from the store like a couple of weeks ago. I bought one and I was like, this doesn't feel like as big as it used to. And it was a 3-liter. I thought it was a 3-liter. It was
Yeah.
a 2.5 liter.
What the fuck are they doing over
Yeah,
there?
I didn't know that was 2.5 liters.
I remember their 3-liters used to have a big cap. I've never seen anything like it, but now they have like regular size caps.
Yeah, they used to be huge.
I just have cola. I had to go on a hunt to
I'm glad
find
you found
Faygo.
Yeah, I seen your Twitter adventure. You were talking about not being able to
I
find it.
literally drove all around
Random
Rochester
Cola.
to find it, and it ended up there was just like this tiny little shop like a block away from me that had like 2 different types of Faygo. I think there was somewhere else I could have got it. I wanted to get like a real crazy kind, but they only had pineapple and cola, and I fucking hate pineapple, so cola it is.
Does
And
anybody have like a favorite flavor like that you weren't able to get like tonight, but overall, like what's your favorite Faygo flavors?
I would have to say
Rock and rye.
Rock and Rye is hands down the best.
It's
I
pretty.
I'm trying to think if I've ever even had Rock and Rye.
Yeah,
See, in
I
this
was
part,
bummed I couldn't find it.
in this part of PA, you can only there's only Speedway gas stations are the only places that carry it.
Fuck, I have like 300 of those. I didn't even stop at one of that. I probably could have found some fucking Faygo.
That's like the first place I would have stopped.
Yeah, right.
I went to 7-Eleven. I went to all these other fucking places. And then
Who else said Rock and Rye? Was that you, Kyle?
That was Derek.
Oh, it was Derek.
Yeah. Yeah, I like rock. I like candy apple too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Candy
I like-
apple would have been nice with the Fireball. That would have been
Yeah, what a
delicious, as the bottle says.
I
This is
looked
the
up
first
like
Faygo
trying
I've
to
ever
see if
bought.
I could make any like drinks with Faygo with the liquor that I have in the house, and I couldn't pull anything off.
That's why I got cola.
I literally have a
Black Velvet
old
with it.
school Faygo label of my favorite flavor. It's
Shit.
pineapple.
orange.
I do like that too. Pineapple orange.
They literally don't make it anymore, and it was by far the best flavor they ever had. They make pineapple, which is not even close to being as good. No, pineapple orange was the fucking shit.
Why don't they make it?
I don't know. I literally every time I look at Faygo at the store, I look and see if maybe they fucking brought it back. They brought back Arctic Sun flavor, and that tastes like shit.
Yeah, that one.
That is from an ICP song or their secret track. But nevertheless, they refuse to bring it back, and I'm pissed.
You fucking tell him, Kyle.
We need to get
Yeah.
like a Twitter campaign going for that
Yeah,
shit.
bring that pineapple orange back, bitches.
Hashtag pineapple orange.
All right, we're bringing that out tonight.
See the cotton candy flavor?
That
Yeah, I
shit's
like that
good, too.
flavor. How old is that flavor? Like, when did that come out?
I don't think that was like a thing when I first started buying it, which I didn't start buying it until I found out about ICP.
Yeah, I'd say within the past 5 years.
Because I didn't see that flavor either. And we did a contest in art school. My whole class designed a Faygo labels because when they changed over to the new labels, Faygo held a contest, and whoever won the contest, they would make a flavor out of that.
I remember ICP entered it.
Yeah, I entered. Our whole class entered it too. I entered in cotton
It's really
candy,
cool.
and I entered the fucking what the label looks like is almost exactly what I drew
Really?
and entered. Yeah, I feel like they stole my shit. They like sat on it forever.
Wow.
This
That's
is actually
incredible.
the first Faygo I've ever bought.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Wow.
I don't really drink pop or soda, whatever you heathens say.
I said pop.
Yeah, pop's the way
I'm
to
from
go.
Ohio, but I say soda now. I changed. I used to say pop, but
Yeah.
fuck that. Soda.
I've only really started even drinking pop after starting to drink. That's and only usually for mixers. I'm not a pop drinker, but tonight I am, and I'm drinking fucking Faygo Cola with black
That is a
velvet
good
whiskey
classic,
mixed.
Is everybody else drinking beer too, or are we?
Yeah, we got it.
If you want to call it that, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. What kind of beer are you drinking, Scott?
I got a 42-ounce plastic bottle of OE.
Fuck yeah. It's plastic. I didn't know it was plastic.
Fucking plastic. Boop boop.
Yeah, they make plastic.
I should have got a Cobra if I would have known that. Got me.
Yeah, but I got 2 extra ounces, so
You showed no.
I fucking did. I got my money's worth out of that. What do you got there, Brandon? You just took you didn't crack
Oh, yeah.
your.
Sorry. I got tired of waiting. I started
Fair
drinking.
enough.
Identity
Oh, there you go.
Crisis by Mad Tree.
Oh, nice. You're
Yeah,
drinking
man.
actually something good. I went for
Yeah.
like shit because it's a Juggalo episode. I
Yeah.
gotta go cheap as shit.
Oh yeah.
Smoothie?
Smoothie.
I got the old English.
Oh shit! I influenced you.
I probably had these in my fridge since the week after we did our last show, so they're probably not very
You
good.
let those bitches sit.
They weren't very good to start with.
Well, maybe they aged to perfection.
There you
Maybe.
go.
Maybe that's how it works.
It is liquor. It's malt liquor, but it's liquor. So yeah, it's supposed to, right?
Tastes shitty. Tastes skunked. Whatever.
I think that's its natural flavor.
I love Old English. It's one of my favorite malt liquors. So
This is skunky as fuck. I just bought it, so
I love it. If the beer garden where I work carried 40s, I would have been all over it, but they don't, or whatever.
do they grow beer there?
Yes.
Is it a beer nursery?
Yeah, those pink ones.
They suckle for my teeth and
Oh,
grow the organic.
Dan?
Kyle, you got beer, or are you just drinking your Faygo? In
Right now, I'm just sipping on that Juggalo juice, but Derek is actually he's grabbing me a beer out of the fridge right now. He's also picking one for himself. We forgot about grabbing beer. You gonna drink out of the Heine keg?
Oh shit!
I don't think I have the top for that. I can put in the kegerator, but it needs cleaned out.
Just get a knife and pull it. It's fine.
I got a cider Geist Cincy made
Yeah.
Bubbles Rose Ale.
Yeah.
That sounds awful, but you enjoy it.
Yeah. I like Rongeist. They make good beers, but those ciders that they make, I can't do those.
Rose.
Or
Christ, man.
yeah, that one.
Shout out to Heather. She left these here. I'll owe you one, Heather.
It's
Thank
gonna
you.
be super sweet.
Hey,
It's
go
an
figure.
ale. It's gonna be weird.
Kyle's drinking beer and cider that's not his. That was just left there.
Of course it
That's
was.
every time.
Heather literally brought a whole 6-pack over here and did not drink a single one of them. This is the first one that was drank.
That's
I don't know.
ridiculous.
Kill the
I know,
keg.
it's crazy.
Is it any good?
Hey, yeah, I like it. You want to try it?
Thinking about popping one of those up instead of this High Life.
Yeah, you could.
Nah,
Go for it,
dude.
man. I'll buy Heather a
Drink
new
that
stuff.
champagne. Drink that beer champagne.
I might just do the High Life.
Yeah, it does taste like beer champagne. That's a good way to put it. But I'll drink it. It's
no,
okay.
the High Life. That's the
I'm a little
champagne
pansy,
beers,
man. I'll drink some Fireball, and that's about it. But I mean, this ain't bad.
All right.
Yeah,
And you guys are just gonna have that keg sitting in the background, or
Yeah.
but that place that makes that beer is really damn cool.
Yeah.
you
have
have
a
do a video tour of it.
They have a dinosaur in their brewery right now.
That's fucking
Pretty
awesome.
cool.
Like a real one? Is it like Jurassic
Yeah, like-
Park?
Yeah. Well, no, not like Jurassic Park.
Ryan
It's
guy?
like-
you
Yeah.
agreed with me.
There's the Cincinnati Natural History Museum is like doing renovations, so like they loaned out a gigantic fucking dinosaur to
Dude,
the
that's-
brewery.
That's really fucking awesome.
So it's so like they have a plaque that says like this is the largest dinosaur in the history of any brewery. So
Well, that's true.
pretty cool.
That
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, they seem like cool folk. I like the little Apple logo on here.
Yeah, their
Oh,
artwork's
that is
cool,
cool.
shit.
All right.
I see people wearing their like merchandise.
Yeah.
You can sponsor us. It's fine.
All right, let's talk about juggalos.
Do we have to?
That's a sweet transition.
Yeah, that wasn't forced at all, man.
No, I didn't know where we were going
I
next,
didn't know
so we
either.
might as well go there.
Should
Yeah,
we?
can we?
I mean, do we want to? Is there anything we want to talk about as far as like why we haven't done this or what our plans for the future, if we have any?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
Sorry, it's been a while since we've done a show, and we don't know when we'll do another one. But here's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That works.
Cheers to the unknown pod. It's unknown when the next episode will be.
that's
Pretty
right.
much what that means now. Cheers.
But it's good every time. It's well worth the wait, man.
But we can tell you that it's not as unknown as the Unknown Wrestling podcast because
That's true.
No, that's no. It's not ever
That
happening.
thing is so
I keep meaning to cancel the domain for it because I'm still paying $3 a month for nothing. I get the email
Didn't
that
you
tells
just
me
do
they're
a
going to bill
whole
me.
weekend shit of fucking wrestling things?
Totally, yeah, it was awesome.
Totally do a whole podcast on that.
I know.
Come on, just get together and fucking do it, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't you hang out with him every week, Brian?
No, not well. We did up until like a month ago, and then they changed
Oh.
his hours around, and now like we haven't got together in a while. Minus the weekend of wrestling last weekend.
Besides like 3 days.
Besides this podcast, we do nothing but drink beer and hang out and watch wrestling.
Yep.
You can't get on the mic and discuss it, which is weird.
Well, you know. We couldn't get on the mic and discuss nothing, so it's fine.
Yeah. It's like you guys were so put off by doing a Juggalo episode. You're like, okay, let's just fucking
No,
do it.
I'm excited about it. I've been excited about it all day.
I
Me
haven't
too,
been put
man.
off. I just haven't had I haven't had a free weekend in months.
Yeah. All right. Hey, did anyone listen to ICP like in preparation for this show?
Nope.
No.
Earlier,
Nope.
I didn't listen to anything today, but earlier this week I listened to pulled out the good old Great Malenko.
Oh,
Hell
shit.
So that was it was
And what's the smoothie review of Great Malenko now?
that's a certified Juggalo classic.
Fuck.
I mean,
Certified.
Whoop whoop.
I don't think
10 whoops.
Does
I
anybody know
don't,
who CPN is?
what's that?
CPN, he's a Juggalo podcaster.
Yeah, Child's Play Ninja. Yeah,
Yeah, I was listening to him earlier
Of
today.
course. Smoothie knows. Got his ears to the underground.
do shit. They got to be somewhere.
So when did you become a juggalo?
Yes, let's hear everyone's.
Go around the
story.
table.
All right, who's starting?
You.
Oh,
you go.
me?
Yeah.
Wow, good. Yay, me. It was probably like 15 or 16. Aaron got me into it, you know, the one who was supposed to be on, and
Yeah.
yet again.
So what year does that make it?
2003 probably. 2003. Oh, yay. Maybe I was 14. I don't remember.
Well, that's like bizarre era, maybe.
No, that's
No,
after
I was
that.
like 2000.
And that's after Wraith.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was probably like around. I think the Shangri-La. Actually, now that I think about it, was
I was like, if you were on
into
the if you were on the 6th.com, that site was around before the Wraith had come out, and you were on before that, right?
I don't know if I was on before the Wraith. I think it was on after when everyone turned on them.
Wraith was
that board was like as soon as I got on that board, everyone was just like fucking.
I'm curious
going with
because
fucking
like
ICP.
I think the rest of us, I could probably speak for you guys. We all got in way before that. So as someone who came in like around the Wraith, like why did you get in and what got you into it? I'm just curious.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I listened. I mean, I heard a bunch of this stuff before. Aaron listened to him for about a year or two before then, if I recall, maybe even earlier than that. I don't really remember. But I didn't really listen to it, and what I heard, I was like, I mean, I was just trying to be cool and not listen to what Aaron liked, just hate on whatever he liked, as I do now as I'm 30-year-old.
Well, how old were you at this time then?
12, 13, probably.
Oh wow, okay.
Well, yeah, that's about the age you get into them.
Yeah, I was 13, 14.
I feel like I'm older than everybody here.
And then I listened to the Wraith. I actually like listened to it all the way through. I was like, dude, they're actually rapping on this. I like it. And I think I like that. And then that's my favorite Joker's card is Shangri-La.
That's one of my. It is. That's a good one.
Yeah, I love
It's just a good album. I mean,
It is musically. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they actually like. I felt like they put in the most effort into that one too.
So was that the first album you had listened to?
No, I mean, I honestly, it's kind of hazy. I don't really remember the timeline. It's been a fucking long ass time.
Like I remember the song I listened to, where I was when I listened to it, and like what I felt when I heard it.
I do too.
Well, I mean, clearly it wasn't that special of a. Wasn't like my first time there with.
Yeah, okay. I hear you.
My Juggalo virginity,
That's a good way to put it.
Jug virginity.
Jugginity.
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 That's so funny. Okay, so you were never like obsessed. I mean, like I would say at one point I was obsessed.
For sure.
I got into it pretty hard. I wouldn't say like super duper into it like crazy, but I listened to quite a bit. I tried to listen to as much as I can. I know there's some shit I still haven't fully listened to. I don't even know if I've listened to Carnival of Carnage front to back. So
I know we were like Trump supporter obsessed. Like,
yeah, for real.
Yeah. So I don't really get into things like that very hardcore.
Well, you can't be on this episode.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
with
me, that's literally the only thing in my entire life that I've ever been like that about.
Oh yeah.
Like there's never like it's to me it seems ridiculous to be so into something that I would feel like that, but ICP is the only thing that's ever done it to me.
That was like your football team that you love.
Yeah, exactly. Like how motherfuckers feel about their football team. That's how I felt about them. So I can understand to an extent. Like thinking back, it's odd thinking or being in that mode, but when you're in it, like it was just like the most amazing thing I could have been doing, you know.
All right, so then what was your
Around
story,
15,
Kyle?
So I probably was pretty hard into it, but it didn't last long.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, obviously, each of us are in like on like a different tier of where maybe their fandom for this was.
Yeah.
But
Did you ever go to any
Actually,
shows when you were that age?
No, the only Juggalo show I really went to was The Gathering.
Okay. What
Yeah.
year?
2004.
No, okay. That
Which
a
was
good
one of the best weekends ever. We hung
Yeah,
out.
it was literally-
I mean, we have to have an entire
Juggalo
talk
or
about
not.
that at some point.
Juggalo or not, that's probably in my top 3 memories of all time.
Yeah, I was at that
I don't
gathering.
even-
That was a good year.
I didn't. It's no contest.
Nelson Ledges up near Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, that was a great time.
They had 3 gatherings there: 03, 04, and 05. I went to all 3 of them. They were really fun. 4 was pretty good. I remember that one was probably my favorite one, actually.
I didn't
There
go
was
to
a
the
lot of
first
good
one they
shit.
did there. But I went to the other ones. All right, Kyle, what's your magical story of the first time that you heard them?
Yeah, let's hear your jug of cherry popping.
Like I remember I was in a like kids bowling league with my brother, and we were on our way to Saturday morning bowling. It was at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and they were I was with my brother, my cousin Ryan, and our buddy or Ryan's best friend at the time. His name was Tim. He was into him. I don't know how he got into him, but it was 1997. Great Milenko had come out in like July or June of that year, and so this had to have been like September. But we were on our way to bowling, and they played. He played Boogie Woogie Woo and Ned and Game back to back. So it was 1997. I had to have been 13 years old. But I heard Boogie Woogie Woo and the Ned and Game, and it was like it blew my fucking mind. Like at the time, I was like, I'd never heard anything like it.
At the time, what was the other music that you were listening to?
Only other music I was familiar with was my dad was into like 80s rock. So I knew a lot of Metallica and Megadeth and shit like that. But other than that, just whatever pop songs were on. My mom was never really into music at all. So there was no other band that I gave a shit about. There literally was no music I liked up until that moment. I heard that and I was like, this shit was fucking made for me, you know? And like, I remember, like, I tried to like remember some of the lyrics. I went home and like my dad was cool. He listened to like rock music and shit. So I told him about it, and he let me go buy Great Milenko like within the week or something like that. But I remember listening to like Ned and Game, and like my dad was cool. I was 13, but I was good. So like he was cool about letting me listen to like inappropriate shit. But I remember writing down all the lyrics to the Ned and Game just because I wanted to like memorize it. I wrote them down.
Did your parents ever find that?
I'm sure. I remember my mom saying like she didn't care if I listened to it. She just didn't want me like wearing the shirts and shit. And then like this happened. You know, my dad took me to my first show like 6 months later. And that was it, man. That was how it began. It never stopped for like. It was a hard train, really hard train for like 6 or 7 years straight.
What was the show? What was the tour that your dad took you to?
It was January of '98. It was the House of Horrors tour. So yeah. Milenko had just come out. It was like they were knee deep into their tour for it. It was called the House of Horrors tour. It was so tight. To this day, it's one of the tightest shows I've ever seen. They had like a haunted house, like
that's a legendary
play set, like how background, and they kept getting like Fago out of the fireplace and shit like that.
Their stage props back then were just incredible.
Yeah, I mean to that moment, I was 13 years old. To that moment, the only concerts I'd ever been to was we went to Crisscross at the Ohio State Fair.
And that's not your favorite one? Jump pants, man.
We had like second row, and I remember crying because people were jumping around and it scared me.
You know there was going to be jumping at a Crisscross concert.
Well, everybody there
not expecting this.
They have to jump to see.
No, I had no clue people would be jumping. Why would they jump? Come on.
Yeah, you're right.
And then I actually had the opportunity. I seen No Doubt during their Tragic Kingdom tour. I saw them. That was
pretty sweet.
But nevertheless, that was the first time I'd ever seen anything like that. I'd never seen videos. YouTube wasn't a thing. I saw that and it blew my fucking mind.
It's like the same way when you hear people talk about like the first time they saw Kiss. I feel like seeing ICP for the first time was like our fucked up generation's equivalent of that.
Yeah, man.
Pretty much is, yeah.
I mean, it was a defining moment for my life. Like from that moment on, it was like I said.
So my story and your story are extremely similar. Mine is MTV actually got me into ICP because I remember them doing an MTV news story talking about the day that Milenko came out, that Disney had dropped this band and now this band is releasing a new album on their new label. And they showed like little video clips from it, and I thought it was fucking awesome. So me and my buddy went to the record store that night and bought Milenko. And it was the same time frame as you, because a couple months later I saw the same tour that you did, but sounds like just a couple months before they went through Columbus, they went through Dayton, and that's where we seen them.
Okay.
Dope.
Hell yeah. So who'd you go to that show with? How old were you?
What year was that? 97. So I was like 16.
Okay.
Because me and my buddy drove from Cincinnati to Dayton to that show. Like, he drove us, so we had just got old enough to be able to drive.
I wonder why you didn't just go to the Columbus show.
My second ICP show was Columbus. It was at the Brewery District Pavilion.
Yeah.
I saw them there twice in
Mindless
Columbus.
Self-Indulgence was there.
Yeah.
Which that was crazy. It was supposed to be Coal Chamber, and then you see fucking this weirdo with pink hair on stage.
That was the first. I think that was the first show that I saw Twisted at. Was that show?
Okay, yeah, that was a good show. I was
Twisted
there,
is
man.
shit.
That's crazy. We were at that show together.
Yeah. So my buddy Ryan, to answer your question, I lived with him for a little while. I don't know if you ever met him. I think by the time me and you started hanging out, I wasn't cool with him. No, he was at the Ninja Land release party thing that we did.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did he have the ponytail?
No, did not. He was with a chick.
Okay. I don't remember.
Yeah, whatever.
Cool though. That's a good one. So yeah, very similar. It's crazy how it's like, I mean, we live pretty close by geographically. Like we both kind of got into it right around the same time. So something was happening, you know.
Yeah.
It was obviously like
They're
making a
moving to the Midwest.
yeah. It was
Yeah, we
weird.
were in a very good area to get into them, because they came through like our towns constantly all the fucking time. So we could go see them live like 2-3 times a year.
Yeah, Derek was saying he heard about him. Somebody played him "Tunnel of Love" before that had even come out.
Yeah. All right. What's your story, Derek?
Yeah.
It was, I can't remember what year. It was either 96 or 97. I was like 14 or 15, but my friend at lunchtime gave me his headphones and he's like, "Here, listen to this." And I was into just strictly rock and grunge at that time. I hated rap. I was like, fuck rap, fuck all that shit, just because all the popular gangster wankster kids in the school liked it. So I was like, fuck them. But he was like, "Here, listen to this," because he liked rap and shit. And I just put on the headphones and he played Ninja for me. So that was the first ICP song I heard, was Ninja off Tunnel of Love. And like, I just heard the intro and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then it started, beat came in and I was like, yeah, this shit's cool. And it was just kind of like, then I dropped off. I didn't really know anything about it. Didn't follow up with it until I was hanging out with him again, like later on. And then his girlfriend was playing Malenko. So it was probably 97, maybe around that time.
Around the same time.
And then like, as soon as I heard Malenko, that's when it locked me in. And I was like, oh yeah. I never saw no ads or like MTV anything. I didn't know who they were. I had no clue. But I just heard those 2 albums and that's when I got into it.
You guys were friends at that point?
No, me and Kyle, no.
No, we had a mutual friend or two somehow.
But we didn't get introduced to like what, 99, 90,
Yeah.
2000.
But it was definitely because of our mutual interest in ICP.
Yeah, that was the only reason. It's like my friend listens to ICP. Oh, cool, let's hang out.
Yeah.
Like, that was literally
That's literally why we're all sitting here right now, is because of that. If it wasn't for ICP, we would not be sitting here right now.
Yeah. I mean, shit on them as you wish, but
Yeah.
that's the truth. You know?
And that's the truth with a lot of my friends, even though they hate ICP now. That's how we met, whether they want to admit it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Smoothie, you're last. What's yours?
Family.
My story
Always.
I was
Quite
just trying
different.
to rip earlier.
in some regards and quite similar. The first time I heard ICP, my friends, their brother was telling them about it, and they said, "You should check this video out in the box." I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I
music.
remember the box.
And Chicken Hunting was on there, so I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." I went out and bought the CD, and I used to listen to a lot of CDs at night when I went to sleep, and I had like a multi-disc changer or whatever in my room.
I feel like that's like a teenager thing.
It is.
You just
You need
fall
music.
listening to music with your headphones on.
No, I had it on my stereo with my,
Oh, okay.
speaker. So it was my my background noise. And I was listening to the Riddle Box and, I'm going through it and everything. And it got to like, I guess Cemetery Girl. And then it started getting
That song is awesome.
strange at night, like you hit Old Evil Eye.
Fields.
And I was getting like freaked out. And I sold the CD after that. I was like, this freaks me the hell out. And, and I never really looked back. And then a couple people in high school had listened to them and they were talking about like, oh shit. I guess was it Tunnel of Love? Yeah, Super Balls. That's on Tunnel of Love, right?
Yep.
So that one kid would always quote it and everything. Always say, I'm sticking my big toe in your butthole or whatever. They said,
and then jiggle you didn't with my other toe.
So I knew of, but I never gave it a second thought. So then you skip ahead to, so that was right after Riddle Box came out, so like 94, 95, whatever.
Damn, you old school.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wasn't like a fan of them. Like didn't really care. Like I caught oh shit.
You were listening to shit like Bone at the time.
Yeah, and that's why, because they were always on the box. So I, be watching the box, and I caught like Halls of Illusion and stuff. I was like, yeah, it's all right, but it's still not my cup of tea. So skip ahead to 2003, I believe, when they did the Wicked Wonka tour. So it was Tech Nine, Cottonmouth Kings, Bone Thugs.
That would have been the fucking. I wish I.
That was an incredible tour.
Yeah, I went to that one too.
Such a good tour.
So my friends who, their brother had told them about this song, they never really cared for ICP, but we wanted to go see Bone. So we went to the show. So Bone was on right before ICP. So went through Tech Nine. That's when I started liking Tech Nine as well.
Oh yeah.
And we had been smoking. Well, at least I had, and a couple other people, not my direct friends. So I was ripped. I was gone. So like,
that's perfect then.
Well, I was like, Tech Nine set was awesome. I remember it. Cottonmouth Kings, I just remember it had a lot of strobe lights, but I was like zoning.
They used to put on a really good show too.
And I listened to them after the fact, but like I didn't really remember their set. I remembered Bone's set, and then that was it. They wanted to leave. My friends they didn't want to stay around for ICP, but they wanted to sign because I guess Lazy or Bone, well, it was only Lazy, and ended up was signing autographs. So we were waiting in line to get an autograph by Lazy, and ICP came out and they opened up with Dead Body Man. And I would have to say it was the state of mind I was in. I'm listening to it and I'm like, I have to go back and give this another listen. Like I was really feeling it. And then like that next week I went to the local store, bought Carnival of Carnage, all the other ones in between, just listened to them straight through, and then got up to the Wraith, Shangri-La, and I was like, I'm down with the clown till I'm dead in the ground.
Oh man, yep.
And actually, before I went and bought those CDs, because we were Fagel Lovers had a message board as well too, didn't they?
Yeah, fuck them. The 6 is where it's at.
Well, the 6 is where we all migrated, but we were on there, and I remember emailing Scotty D directly. I was like, "Do you have? I'm just getting into this. Do you have some songs you can recommend?" And he threw me like Blaze's cover, Dead Body Man, some Twisted songs, and some ICP songs. I was like, "Yeah, I definitely gotta investigate this more." So that's when I went out and got all the CDs, and then it was just.
You did your Jugga homework.
I did. I'm glad I did, and it was.
That's one of the more interesting introductions to ICP I've heard. Like not really liking them much, but then going to a show and wanting to leave. That's pretty cool.
That's so remember, awesome. Kids, if you want to get into something, just fucking do drugs.
Exactly.
It's cool that there's all kinds of different people that got in at different eras, because that shows how timeless their music is. Like that you can like it at the time and still like be like, okay, I like it so much. I mean, how many artists can you say that you've liked so much that you've gone back and listened to their whole entire back catalog and also loved?
I mean, the first 6 for me is like part of the 90s.
Yeah.
Because, like when I think of the 90s, ICP's like first albums are there.
Yeah.
True that.
I mean, they're like, to me, as weird as it is, like they're like super special, like in my whole entire existence, you know. I dedicated such a good portion of my life to the Juggalo lifestyle at that time that, you know, it's weird, you know, being kind of like out of it now, being a grown up. You know, I never thought that I would feel not super Juggalo. I don't know, in the super Juggalo mode, you know. At one time I remember saying I would go to the gathering if it was on the fucking moon.
I still want like something played at my funeral.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
So then Kyle, what got you out of it?
I don't think anything necessarily got me out of it. Like, I think it really is just a matter of just growing and, you know,
Yeah,
getting more in, like, as a 34-year-old, like, I now know what it means when you tell, like, when motherfuckers tell you when you're 22, like, you don't know shit, you know. And I'm sure I still don't know shit to a 50-year-old, you know.
But I think for being in our 30s, we're still pretty into it. We just went to a show last year.
Yeah, I mean, I still love it. I love it. I listen to ICP on the reg, like honestly, like almost. I mean, on a weekly basis at least. Every time I get in the shower, I'm like, you know, fucking play ICP, you know. But
Alexa, play ICP.
yeah, I literally, literally. But you know, I love it, man.
I'm trying to talk him into going to the 20th gathering
next year.
next
Yeah,
year, yeah.
I'm definitely in.
Shit, there's been 20 of them.
Yeah, well, next year, yeah,
That's
20.
insane.
It's supposed to be pretty big.
Hopefully they do something really cool.
Yeah, that's
I
what
hope
they're saying.
so. Except for don't they operate at a loss at those things? So it'd be real hard to do even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now since they really have like kind of lost their stride, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. This year was big.
Yeah, I see pictures from them, and like there was a lot of people there this year.
2017 was a little smaller
It's a
because
good ass lineup.
it got big again this year. And I
Okay.
think even next year it's gonna be even bigger.
I liked probably about half of that lineup. I was like, holy shit, this would be a festival that I'd want to go to again for sure.
Hops in there with Tech Nine was there, Gwar was there.
Dude, and I mean, just you talk about an indie band that's been able to successfully run a gathering like that, a big music festival like that every year. Like, there's nobody else in the music industry
And
that
run a
fucking does
label.
that shit, man. Like,
No.
that is super impressive that they pull off what they pull off, and like they don't get enough credit for the actual business side of shit that they have done.
In the March that they did last year, that was pretty epic.
Yeah,
Like,
that was cool.
I don't know if you followed what they did when they marched, but
Yeah, I
that,
did.
it was huge.
Yeah, that was very cool.
And it actually changed a lot of people's minds about him because I talked to some people after that and they're like, you know what they did that's pretty good. And I was like, I mean, I think it changed the public opinion of him. Not like a lot.
No, but it did get like a lot of really good press.
Yeah,
which is
press.
not.
I saw a lot about it.
Yeah,
Which is good because
it was peaceful.
anyone thinking that they're an actual gang is fucking retarded. I mean,
but then you get that shit where they fucking do these whatever the game con that they do. They got fucking shut down this year or something. Like, how fucking
because they
stupid
have
is
these
that shit?
idiots that claim claim Juggalo, and then they're just being fucking
The
idiots.
Juggalo Yacht Club and all the different
Yeah.
gangs and shit.
Yeah, that what got the con shut down was the group that was in that city, and they claim to be a gang, and they actually don't like Juggalos, and they actually try to they're more on the twisted side, I guess now, and they actually went to go try to fight CPN, the Juggalo podcaster there. They didn't find him, so they just beat up somebody else. And that's
That
what
shit's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because Twisted is no longer part of Psychopathic, basically.
Yeah, because CPN talks so much shit about Twisted, he pissed off all these other underground rappers that are trying to get on Twisted's label. So they're trying to go do shit to like impress Twisted. Yeah,
the
it's
reason why people want to get on that label and not Psychopathic, though. There's
Yeah,
a reason why people leave Psychopathic.
yeah, it was stupid.
No.
It wasn't Juggalos that did that shit. It was another type of people.
Douchebag.
Gotcha. All right, so what's the first gathering everybody went to?
I can
Go for it.
start. None.
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
None
man.
gatherings.
The smoothest Juggalo hasn't gone to the
God
gathering.
damn it! If you got into them in 2002, you should have went to 03 or 04 at least. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I should have.
A whole bunch of the board members went on 04.
Yeah, 04. All of us but Smoothie was at 04.
Pretty much,
You
yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
stop-
so you didn't know him back then.
No, I knew these guys back then because we were all on the 6th message board. All of us.
I don't remember us
We all
running.
met on the message
I
board.
think I met up with them at some point, like because I went to those gatherings with Derek and my real life friends.
I remember meeting up with you guys at that. It was very brief, but we
Yeah.
did meet up at that.
But you probably didn't even know my friends and shit. But I definitely met up with you and Amanda and
Yeah.
all these other fucking dipshits from.
And then a year or two later, then I did know all of your friends.
Mhm.
Did I meet up with you, Kyle? I don't remember, to be honest.
I don't
It's
ever
a
remember
lot
meeting
of
up with
hazy
you at all.
memories for that gathering.
Yeah.
So ours was 01, right? We both.
yeah,
we
the
went
first-
together. Yep.
Yeah, we went together to the Toledo gathering in 01.
Which was the second gathering.
Right.
Yes. So I'm the only one that went to the very first one, which I'm pretty proud of.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah,
nice.
I don't know anybody that's been in the first one.
Yeah.
Wasn't the first one? First one's 99 or it was 2000.
It was in 2000. It was in Novi, Michigan.
Yeah,
And-
and it was outside, right?
No, it was in like a convent. Well, yeah. The main stage was outside, but like most of all of the stuff was inside, like in a convention center kind of thing. But the parking lot outside is where the show was. But like I remember, like it was yesterday. Like me and my buddy Scott used to work at Kmart together, and I was working at Kmart, and he come like running into Kmart. He was off. He came running into Kmart. He's like, "Dude, look!" And like he had this paper that he printed out from his internet back in 2000 that was announcing the very first gathering of the Juggalos, and that's like 4 hours away from us. And he's like, "Dude, we gotta fucking go!" And like we did. We fucking went.
That's awesome, man.
That's really cool.
I didn't even know about the gathering until the second one.
Yeah. I think
I
we
was-
found out on realjuggalos.com, to be honest with you.
Real juggle.
I didn't know about any of these sites. I see. I didn't get on the internet back then,
There
so
were
I had no
so
clue.
many Juggalo sites back in the day.
There was-
so many.
My favorite was juggalo.com, which was ran by like one dude, and it was so cool. And he posted all the most recent news. And that voodoo stick I have over there, I bought from juggalo.com.
Isn't he on Facebook now?
I don't know. But nevertheless, that site went down, and RJ was the place to go for a long time before Fago Lovers.
Yep,
But,
it was. And I
Um,
started going on it when it was brainbuster.com, I think it was called.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
it was when you went to it, it was half wrestling website, half Juggalo website. Like you went to it, and like the splash page was, "Do you want wrestling or do you want Juggalo?"
so crazy.
And it was perfect because I wanted both. It was awesome.
One and the same.
I remember going to insanecloudbossy.com, and it was all just like blog posts from Violent J, just like
Yeah.
about like shit. I remember I didn't have a computer at home at the time. It wasn't normal to have even fucking internet at home. So
Yeah, I was at the library the first time I got on the Juggalo
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
I would
I
go
was
on,
in school.
I would go on icp.com and go to their site and print off all of the posts because I didn't have time to read them. I printed them all off at school and took them home and read them.
So like
And
the
had to
first time
tear
I
the
got
little
on,
things off the side of the page and shit.
Read all of Violent J's brain vomit.
I know.
That dude
I
could
hated
just
the
go
fucking
on.
website because of that.
It was trash.
Like when I got on the ICP website, I was like, this is going to be good. And then I got on there, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I,
Well,
like,
ICP's website, that wasn't like the place to get the shit from. It was
Yeah,
either
you're right.
it was either Real Juggalos or Fago Lovers or the Sixth. Or
I didn't
whatever.
figure that out at that time. It took
Yeah.
Yeah.
years.
All right, so
Actually,
that is
when I met Kyle's when I got hip to the website. Juggalo, you know what I mean?
yeah. So that's how we all met each other. Then
It was
was
on the 6th.
through the sixth.com message board.
I didn't know that until just now. I didn't know you. That's how you guys met. I had
Yeah.
no clue, dude.
Literally every single one of us here.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them. I know all of their screen names from that website.
That's
Oh
great.
yeah.
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 Do you remember the 6.com?
No,
It was like a gray website with like gold text and shit.
I don't think I was ever.
It is like embedded into my brain. I'll never forget what that looked like.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I remember the ICP official one and then Fago Lovers. That's all
Oh,
I know.
okay. Wow. Yeah. Do you remember
I think I
psychojokas.com?
remember yours. Didn't you have a
Yeah,
website?
Psycho.
You showed me yours, and I went to that. Yeah.
Didn't
I'm
you
trying to
for a brief time what thatwickedshit.com or something?
Yeah, I remember that one. That the dude who ran that is the dude he ran. I ran a site called psychojokas.com, which was the ICP news website, and the dude who ran thatwickedshit.com was my partner that ran my website with me.
Who was it? Was it somebody that?
Paulie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, Polly.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck off.
Is he still into the?
I don't know. I haven't talked to that guy in years.
He likes my posts on Instagram every once in a while.
I have him on Facebook. He is full on juggalo still.
Yeah.
Really? Cool.
Oh yeah.
He ran Zuggalos.com. Shout out to Zuggalos.com.
Sometimes I didn't like him very much, but
He was kind of a douche. I remember getting
everyone on the 6 was like abrasive as shit. So
Yeah.
that's hence
true.
why we weren't on it after a while, like a couple of years.
we migrated
down the
multiple
road, so we
times.
just left.
like the way
All right,
4chan
fuck this.
is. That's how the 6th was.
It was
It was all
literally
just people
4chan. Yeah.
yeah, being mean to each other, posting gross memes.
It's still like that. Like there's like a problem. A lot of people like doxing each other. Like all
Yeah.
these juggalo like online like bloggers and fucking podcast people, and that's what. I mean, I don't know.
It always surprises me though, like on ICP's Instagram and Twitter, like I follow them on there, and like I'll look at their post and like go to read some of the comments, and like they have like very little people that comment on their shit. Like it surprises me how few people seem to interact with them on there.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of dying out
Yeah.
slowly.
When they play shows now, like they do like play smaller rooms
Oh
typically.
yeah,
Yeah.
ICP is going to be here next month. Not here, Syracuse, about an hour away from me, and they're just
Are you
playing
going?
some fucking time. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you should go.
I think that are they doing like solo tours?
I don't think
I don't know.
Oh, they're going to do a solo tour. They're both doing a solo tour this year.
Oh, okay.
Well, this
Especially
one
if it's the
is
Malenko
ICP.
show, you should go to it.
I'll
I
tell
don't
you,
know. All I know is that the opener is Clownvis Presley.
Saw something about that on Facebook. Yeah.
Like I don't know what the fuck. I'm assuming it's just a dude in Juggalo face paint doing Elvis
Gotta be.
songs, but
Gotta be.
I'm kind of intrigued by that more than ICP.
I
To
don't
be
think
honest.
they're on a tour together. They just got off their Malenko thing that they
Oh,
did
yeah.
over in Canada and a few dates here. And I think they're going to both go on a solo tour for a little bit. And then when the Furious Fred Fury comes out, they'll do that tour.
Gotcha. I saw him last year on that Malenko tour, and it was cool as shit seeing him do that. That was awesome.
We
I
had
would
that
like to see
$5 surprise show where they unveiled their new artist.
Yeah.
And that was pretty damn big. Like it was still fucking
Yeah.
It wasn't
I've
sold
been
out for
Newport a
me.
bunch
Which
of
dude
times.
is
It was
that?
$5 and it still wasn't sold out though. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
but it
I
was
remember
still
wanting to go to that.
that was cool. I didn't even know about that. 'Cause I was like, you want to go to a show? It's $5. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I think the first time I went to the Newport was to see the Hatchet Rising tour, I think.
That was a good fucking show.
Fuck yeah, it was. That was like everybody from Psychopathic was on that tour.
That was one of the best shows.
It ended with
Yeah.
Lotus and them chanting
Yeah.
Joe Bruce and him crying.
Yes, yes. I saw him in Cincinnati, Columbus, Detroit, and somewhere else on that tour. I've seen him 4 times. Like
Yeah.
within like a week.
That's awesome. I wish I could say that.
That was a good time. Like that was a nice, good era.
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Me and Eric were talking about that before the show,
I'm
man.
pretty sure that's Psychopathic's golden era for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
No questions asked. No way.
To be a juggalo, that was the best time in the world.
Yeah, in between like 99 to like 2004 was like
Yeah.
an incredible era.
Yep.
Yep. And I saw, how many times have you guys seen them, you think, total?
I'll say at least 20, maybe as high as 30.
Yeah, that's probably where mine is.
I don't think mine's that high. The first show was 99, and then after that, like it was just like gatherings, and then it was scattered little shows here and there, like when they'd come here, probably like 10, 15.
Yeah. Mine's probably closer to 20.
And is that the most band you've ever seen, like the most times?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else come close to that?
No, not for me.
No, yeah, they're definitely what I've seen the most.
I've probably seen
That's
Boba
like
Fett
some
10
deadhead
times.
shit.
Yeah, I see a lot of jam bands and shit that I've seen like a million times, but that's like I don't count that.
Why not?
I mean, you know,
You see them.
yeah. Like Wish You Were Here, stuff like that, you know.
I'm gonna grab
Like-
another beer. Hold on.
All right. I only saw him at the Gathering.
Okay, but they always put on a good show at the Gathering. I've never seen.
Yeah.
I can't say. I honestly can't say that I've seen a bad ICP show. To be quite honest.
I heard the Wraith show they put on this year was horrible.
Really?
Yeah, or Hellspit.
No. Well, it doesn't surprise me. It's a subpar album. I mean, I'm a Hell's Pit apologizer, but I understand why people don't
Apparently
like it.
he was sick. He was sick as shit when he did that.
Uh-huh.
That's what he said. He had a problem.
Yeah, I tried to re-listen to Hell's Pit, and I got a few songs in, and you get in the middle of that album, and it's like trash.
It is not a good album.
No, that's the album that got me out of him. That's where I started.
Yeah, me too. I did like Bang Pow Boom though when that came out. That I thought that was kind of a bring back.
It's that miracle shit, isn't it?
I actually like that song.
Yeah, that's not a terrible song by any means.
It's hilarious.
It
Every
is
time I
funny.
listen to it, makes me laugh my ass off.
I don't think that's a bad song.
What's everybody's favorite Joker's card?
Such a hard question for me, man.
That is a
mine's,
hard question.
mine's without a doubt Malenko.
Mine's the Wraith.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's either Malenko or the Wraith,
Yeah.
or maybe Riddlebox.
But it's for me, there's different feelings. I don't know. What are you talking about?
Or
Music?
maybe Ringmaster. Or maybe
If you could, if they said like we're gonna just erase every ICP song from your head except for one album, pick one.
I don't think it would be Malenko. I'd have to let that one go.
Yeah.
I love that album, but I've heard it so many
Yeah.
times. Like I'm partial to Ringmaster. I love fucking Ringmaster, but I love the Wraith too. So Riddlebox and Malenko, I've just heard so many fucking times that I could let those go.
Yeah, I hear you. But why have you listened to them so many times?
They are because they're amazing. They are amazing albums, and but that's what everybody plays, you know.
Yeah. That's the go-tos.
Yeah. But
I feel
music,
like those two are like the top albums for everyone.
yeah.
At least top Joker cards. That's
Now,
not
what's
my
your
favorite.
what's your
Psycho
favorite
Panther.
Joker's card out of the second set?
Furious
Can you
Red,
name any?
man.
We got Bang Pow Boom, Mighty Death Pop, and Marvelous Missing Link. Lost and Found.
Bang Pow Boom and Death Pop were high production albums, and I really liked them. But I would say Bang Pow Boom out of all of them so far.
Doesn't one of them have like a second disc with Fred Durst on it? I mean, that
Yeah.
song is gonna be the best.
Mighty
song.
Death Pop came with 3 different variants. One had
yeah.
all cover songs, and one was "Bitch Better Have My Money" with Fred Durst.
Dude, like
I
the
think I've listened
music
to
on
that.
those albums aren't insane. It's just the rapping is so fucking bad.
It's pretty subpar. The content isn't the greatest either.
But the music and the production and the mastering and all that is like it's fucking amazing.
All right, so let's talk about the content. Like let's go into that. Like, what was it about ICP? Like, what they were rapping about that really like made you give a shit about what they were saying? Why did it appeal to you?
I think we should let Smoothie start. I feel like he's been getting cut out a lot here.
I have. That's the damn. What was it about them? I don't like. I can't say I was ever like full like 100% Juggalo. Like, I mean, I am Juggalo, but not like I've never been into it. Like you see some of these Juggalos who've been into it, and it's truly a lifestyle to them.
Like you don't have any tattoos or anything.
No tattoos. I've only seen them twice. I've seen Dark Lotus and maybe all the other acts and everything, but only seen them twice. But I don't know. I'm a big horror fan, so like just the whole
Yeah,
horror
That was a big part of it for
I
sure.
I feel like that's what most of us. That's part of what drew a lot of us in was the darker part
Yes.
of it, especially because we were young, and that really appeals to you when you're younger.
but like but now I mean if you go off of it, like a lot of people and everybody's waiting for the Wicked shit. They left the Wicked shit, I much like Derek, I like Bang Pow Boom. I've really enjoyed that. I do like Mighty Death Pop. I've listened to them, but not really as much as the other ones, the Marvel's Missing Link ones. But I just, for me, maybe not necessarily the rapping ability or the rapping skills, but I think a lot of it is just what they've done. And, starting, knowing the whole backstory and the whole history. Like, people can look at ICP just themselves and take them as a joke and everything. But seeing where they've, come from, like the legwork that they put in, as other artists do, but they did it at a time like where, nowadays people can do minimal work and get their names out there because of the internet, and they could just get lucky enough to.
Yeah, those dudes work like really hard for sure.
Get,
they hustled more than most people.
Their marketing was just insane.
Hell yeah.
They definitely took a unique path, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the appeal too.
But they weren't
had to. They didn't have a choice if they were going to continue doing what they were doing.
Yeah. But like their manager was just like somebody they knew and shit. Like they didn't have somebody that was like, that had done that before, that helped them along the way and shit.
Like Alex Abyss, like
Yeah.
didn't he own a record shop and they went to him and
Yeah.
Alex like started promoting him to other kids that came in to buy stuff. He'd be like, no, don't buy that. Buy these guys. These guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had people that believed in them. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they were so unique. I mean, there was
Yeah.
nothing like that. They were appealing to a niche that they created.
I honestly think it was Jay's like prowess on like convincing people things. He's not as good as he is like nowadays. He's older and he's not really that good at it. But imagine him back then in his younger days. He could probably sell, ice as, fucking somebody in hell. I mean, it was just
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, he definitely had, they tapped into something that they themselves didn't know existed,
Mhm.
And I think that's what it was, and still to this day, people, there's the many different sides of the fence. A lot of underground rap and horrorcore rap, I'm sure, existed before, obviously with Esham and everything.
Yeah, and
But
Gravediggers as well. I mean, they were. Yeah, you're right. Sorry,
But
go on.
if it wasn't for, and not saying that everybody owes anything to ICP, but if it wasn't for them, like, I don't think a lot of this would have been found. Those people who, like myself,
Horrorcore would not exist
hell
as
no.
it is.
Like Twisted
It was from the early 2000s without ICP.
Dude, Eminem probably would not be
Eminem
rapping
would
about the shit he raps about if it wasn't for ICP.
Absolutely.
what he used to rap
changed
about.
the style up to fit what was going on in Detroit at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
He got darker. He did the Slim Shady persona came out from that kind of shit from Esham and ICP,
Absolutely.
and then he blew up. And
But
He's a
Esham was doing it before ICP was, but none of us would
Yep.
know Esham's name
Right.
if it wasn't for ICP.
He's a cross
they
between
brought him
Manson and
up.
Shaminazi.
Yeah. Well, Esham didn't want to put in the legwork. I did.
he wanted to be the local hero. Yeah.
ICP wanted to be worldwide, and they are. They literally
They
are
are now.
fucking worldwide.
And it's cool that they're still like taking him out on tour and shit. So
Whenever they're not beefing.
yeah.
Yeah, they're beefing.
It goes back and forth. I think what got me into it was like Smoothie said, the dark part of it, and I did like their kind of twisted message that they were like they had a morality behind the violence, even if it was a little fucked up.
Yeah, that's what all
it kind of appeals to you when you're in your teenage years too, and I was also, again, being a teenager, it's very immature music. It appealed to my sense of humor and whatnot. And, it also had like this weird camaraderie, like us against the world type mentality that I think I really latched onto. The whole family thing was part of it.
Like the
And then, like,
outcast.
everyone's you're an outcast, but we're with you and we're
Yeah.
family. And it's us against the world. Everyone hates us, but you guys are awesome. So,
Yeah,
it appeals to you, especially at an impressionable age, and I feel like that really kind of drove me for a little while until I kind of started thinking it was bullshit. To be honest, they're just doing it to sell merch.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
at the end of the day, that is what it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't
really-
blame them because they're, it's a business, but at the same time, it's just like you're using these kids.
And they are really, really good at selling merch.
Oh yeah,
I think Jay is literally in his head. He still thinks it's like this big meaningful thing. Like he's weird.
Yeah,
if you
man.
listen to him talk, he's still in it like that.
Did anyone else watch that like 3-hour Fago Lovers interview they did with him?
I did.
I mean, I thought that was
No.
one of the most eye-opening things as a juggalo like that I'd ever seen in my life. Like watching one of my heroes like talk so candidly about his fucking personal life and career and everything else.
That was the twisted shit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was amazing. I mean,
Part of the problem I have with that is that I can never quite tell when Jay's telling the truth.
no, he's a compulsive liar. Always has
Sometimes
been.
like he says some shit, and I wonder like if he's really like telling the truth or not, and then that
he
kind of
has
fucks it
mental
up for me a little bit.
I mean, he
Yeah.
legit has mental problems.
yeah, they just canceled
Oh,
some
yeah.
shows because he had
Yeah.
a breakdown or some shit, didn't they?
Well, he had anxiety and shit or something
Yeah.
like that. He had like a panic attack.
Yeah,
I mean, this world he built is all he knows. He
Yeah.
has no common sense outside of the Juggalo world. He just doesn't know. So it's all he has. If that comes crashing down, he probably won't survive.
And
I mean,
I think it has been, and I think it's really fucking with him too.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I mean, it's got to.
I think he's more of just a regular old fucking family man anymore. I mean, I think the ICP shit, don't get me wrong. I mean, he obviously loves it in his heart and, it's what he lives and dies for. But I don't think it's like controlling his life like that. I think he has his shit. But other than that, we all do know he has for real mental problems. But
He's always been open about it.
right. I mean, it's not a secret.
But I do think he is a legit genius. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
Especially the stuff he did back in the day. Like his writing ability was amazing. Like the stories, the pictures he could paint.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was just incredible stuff. He can't do it anymore. But back then, I mean, he made some timeless shit.
Well, you can only do it. You can. There's you can.
That's how it works for
exercise your
most
creativity for so
Exactly.
long until you kind of use up your well, and that's kind of what they've done. But they're still pushing through.
Yeah.
I mean, but they will always have a fan base that'll follow them loyally. I mean, like the Juggalos have not died out. They're still there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fucking everywhere. I see them all the time. They're not going anywhere. It's
I
going to
don't
be
think
like
there was
dead
as
shit.
there were though.
Yeah, probably not. But like just like Jerry Garcia when he, you know what I mean? Like you're going to have you're going to have the Juggalo heads for the rest of our life. I mean, they're going to be around. They're never,
Yep. Fair enough.
All right. Well, I think now's as good as time. We're going to take a pause. I know you already went and got your second BRB, but I think we should take a break here, and we're going to come back and we're going to discuss now more about the albums and the rest of the label. And I know we've kind of focused mainly on ICP the first half, but
Yeah, we got to go around and talk about our favorite Psychopathic Records album of all time.
Oh,
but
sure.
we'll do that afterwards.
that's what
Top 3. Come up with your head right now. Top
shit.
3 psychopathic albums of all time.
oh,
All right.
good. We're going to get into that after this break. So see you then.
I've got 2.
All right, I'm going to go pee and get another shot.
I think I have 3. Never mind.
Keep everybody entertained, Scott.
Sure. Anyone actually watching?
Myself. I'm watching.
All right. Hi, Smoothie. I'll keep you entertained while you're pissing. I'm not doing shit. Can't make me.
Play a little bit of music here, huh?
There you go. You can keep nobody entertained.
Yeah, I'll try one.
I like it, man. I'll definitely
Thank you, sir. You gotta do another shot.
Play the Ninja Land song.
I was gonna have just Kyle just start busting out some freestyle singing there, but I'm hoping he will.
I don't know. I'd really like to hear the Ninja Land
Oh,
song.
fair enough. It's ninja time.
That who played? I don't did I play that?
No, I
Ninja?
played guitar on it, but you sang it.
Oh, okay, yeah, man. I don't remember it. It's Ninja.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
You can see his butt or something. I said something.
In this scene, you can see my butt.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember a little bit of it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna hold on.
Kyle, when are you gonna get sponsored by those Clancy hot and spicy pork rinds?
Oh, I hate pork rinds.
Well, he talks about them all the time.
I need to see that shirt collection he's got going there.
I
We
know,
can't
for real.
can't pass that up.
Dude, it's epic.
That's insane, and that's after he's sold a shit ton of them.
Yeah, I want to go through and be like, I had that one, had that one, had that one. I had that white one that's sitting there. So what kind of shit you listening to these days, Derek?
I mean, everything, man. I still listen to 90s grunge. I still listen to hip hop, ICP. I listen to a lot of jam band shit. I listen to bluegrass.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen to a lot of fucking bluegrass and like jammy shit, Deadhead type.
Define jam bands. Like name some bands.
Like anything that's like inspired by like Grateful Dead and things like that. There's a lot of like jam grass fusion bands that I listen to, and they're kind of like they're all like acoustic. Yeah, they're like all acoustic, but they're kind of inspired by all that kind of like, you know, Grateful Dead kind of music.
Yeah.
That's my dad loves that shit.
Yeah, I love that shit too. And just a lot of that shit, you know, just a little bit of everything, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty, you know, open to anything nowadays.
Change shirts. Oh shit.
Got his Malenko shirt on this time. Are you gonna jam too, Kyle? You gonna start singing? Bust out some songs.
Derek will fucking sing, do you?
No, I want you to do the singing. He plays.
Oh no, dude! You got to do the acoustic version of Juggahater.
Acoustic chugga. If Derek knew how to play a song I actually knew, I would love to sing it. But
Which I don't know how to play probably
Yeah.
any song.
I can't.
Or,
but other than that, I can't freestyle. I could try a freestyle acoustic song if you want to try, Derek. If you want to jam, I'll sing a song about the unknown pod.
There you go.
You can bet your ass.
Oh, hold on, wait.
To be in the fucking podcast, dude.
Hold on, wait.
Oh yeah.
Is that in the key of C?
I don't know. Hold on.
Smiley, you better be recording right now. Well,
I tried.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here on the Unknown Podcast with that little jam sesh by Derek and
Oh,
Kyle
you were
there.
recording.
I did record that. We had to get that on.
We call that the Juggalo Jam.
It was awesome.
Jugga J. Oh, Jugga J.
Fucking
All right,
exclusive.
Kyle, can we see the t-shirts? Can we go to the t-shirts, please? I want to see the t-shirts.
Smoothie's introing us, damn it.
Oh, is he?
Go ahead,
No,
Smoothie.
we're good.
I'll show
We're
you.
back in. We're back in. Let us just speak before we look at some merch.
We
Has
got to do another shot, right?
everybody got
Oh,
their
yeah.
shots reloaded?
Thank
Black
you.
Velvet.
Got my fireball.
Got my fireball.
I got this shot glass from Spencer's, and I think like 1999 or 2000 or so.
Yeah, it looks like the Juggle Brothers era.
Yeah, I used to have the
That
shooter.
era.
Mhm.
All right, clink.
Man, that's one that when you do a shot, it really does not. It doesn't feel gross.
Fireball is fantastic.
It's spicy in your mouth, but it doesn't burn your whole entire intestines.
Have you ever had some like really
warm.
good?
Velvet does.
No, I refuse to drink moonshine. I would
Oh,
never.
dude, good fucking moonshine is amazing.
I would never do that.
Really?
I mean,
It's
I
not
would.
that
try.
strong.
If
No,
you told me to
no.
do it, I would do it.
No, like good moonshine is smooth and it makes you feel like warm and happy as it goes down.
Yeah, if you got like an apple cinnamon good moonshine, it would be like the same as how you feel with Fireball, I think.
Like I can do like 2 shots with some really good moonshine and just like I'll be floating, man, and feel really good.
Yeah, that shit's good.
All right, so we're back. Yeah. So
All right,
let's
we
take
got to
a-
get the merch shit out now.
Yeah, let's look at some of Kyle's merch since he has.
We're going to have to describe it for the listeners.
Like, I mean, I do. I've kept all my CDs, but I did have a purge like a few years ago. Well, probably about 10 years ago, where I sold all my shit. Like, there was
you
a
did.
time in my life where I would, if I had $20 to my name and like I had money for the week for lunch or a new ICP shirt was at Spencer's, I would literally go buy the ICP shirt at Spencer's.
Yeah.
So I'm not
I
kidding.
mean, mine was so bad. Like, I mean, I'm not kidding you. Like, I basically got like kicked out of my first couple apartments because I didn't pay rent because I spent my money on ICP. Like, that's,
Damn,
not
dude.
kidding. Like, I'm not saying like I made good decisions, but like that happened.
That is great.
No, I get it. I seriously get it. So that said, I have a lot. I used to own probably 3 times this many shirts, and I've either thrown them out or donated or sold. I sold a bunch of my shit on eBay a few years ago.
Dude, this one's in great condition. Still.
I have this Gathering of the Juggalos 2001 shirt.
Mine was 2000. That looks like that. It was the same front, but mine didn't have Jekyll on it.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
But it was
Yeah, I
2000
remember
on the back.
Yours.
Oh, so you got the one from the first gathering.
Yours would have been
Yes.
way more rare. This is a Juggalo Champion shit wrestling shirt.
I used to have that one.
This is a Hell's Pit tour. I tried to keep all my tour shirts. This was Hell's Pit tour 2004. This one's still in
Oh
pretty
my god.
decent
That was
shape.
not a very good shirt, though.
That was my first concert, by the way. The Hell's Pit one.
Nice. I actually have the Wicked Wonka shirt still.
I was
Hell's
gonna
Pit
say
was the
Wicked
first one I
Wonka
didn't
would
go
have been
to.
your first one, not Hell's
Well, I
Pit,
didn't.
right?
I didn't stay for IC.
Oh, you didn't stay for ice. Okay.
There's this classic Violent J image from around the Jekyll Brothers era.
Aaron had that one. I think you get that from Hot Topic.
Yeah, you would have got that from any local shop. This one is one of my favorite shirts of all time.
That one is badass.
Oh,
This
yeah.
Great
That is a
Malenko
really
on the
sweet-
Wicked shirt.
It's like I was gonna say it's Hollow Wicked, right?
Yeah, me and Derek were talking about this before the show. We believe this is the first year that they toured Hollow Wicked, because up until this point, I think they only did it Halloween in Detroit.
Yeah.
But this year, this 1998 tour, there's a Cleveland date. My dad took us to that with me. I was 14 years old. Took me to Cleveland with my fucking brother and a couple friends. Josh Graber, he's been on the Keezy show.
There's so many juggalos nowadays that would like just have no clue
Yeah.
about that era.
So this shirt's kind of special to me for that reason. But this shirt that I'm
That's
wearing,
Really good condition
I
for
was gonna
being
say
that.
it looks
Oh,
brand
crazy.
new.
It is
Yeah.
really good.
I was telling Derek, I actually don't think I bought the shirt during that show. This may have been a reproduction one. So
okay.
I'll be honest about this one, but I did go to that show. I have the ticket stub. But this shirt that I'm wearing is the first shirt I ever bought from ICP at all. Was at the House of Horror show in January 1998. Where my dad asked me if I wanted the tour shirt or this shirt, and I was like, fuck it, I want this shirt. But I would still rock it, but it's got a big hole in the middle of it.
That shirt's
That was
epic.
that was exactly my first ICP shirt. Also,
Wow, that's
Wow.
awesome, dude.
that is.
Dude, we're like fucking brothers.
Jugga Brothers.
Family.
I'm gonna write a song called "Jugga Brothers" about you, Brandon.
I like
Hell yeah.
that. Dude, that's a classic. Yeah.
That is a classic.
I actually
that one.
drew those and like I drew them on like construction paper. And I
Yeah.
like put them on like cardboard and shit. And I like put string around them and shit and literally wore them at school.
Cool. Did you guys did you guys all have like a record store around you that was like the Juggalo friendly record store?
Yes, I had 2 of them.
Yeah, what were they?
There was one that was right across the river in Newport, Kentucky, and then there was one that was, I don't remember the name of either one of them. That neither one of them exist anymore.
I lived in the middle of nowhere, so yeah, I had to drive like an hour to find any of that shit.
That sucks, dude. God damn it. You would have got into ICP way sooner.
Probably, yeah.
It's because we're in the Midwest, man. Like that really made like all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
That's where they
it really is like
that's
a
where they
trail of
really,
destruction.
really hustled.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What about you, Smoothie?
The record store that since I didn't get into them until later, the record store that I'd go to, not necessarily were not Juggalo friendly, but like they got to know me, and like as soon as I call, I'd be like, "Did you get? Oh yeah, we got the new ICP or whatever." And as the newer stuff was releasing, so always cool about that, and would put aside stuff for me. And
I remember you used to always get them early. Same
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
yeah, that was back when the release dates were on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And
When record stores got shit in on Fridays.
yeah, so I would get everything a few days early, and everybody be oh, send that
Rip
to me. Like
Yep.
no,
Leak that shit.
unless it was like one of you guys. Or
We're not
something.
buying that shit, so you leak it.
Dude, I remember I was in like 9th or 10th grade when Jekyll Brothers came out. 14.
Where'd you get that at, by the way?
I got that. There was the Juggalo friendly store near us was a store called Record Connection. It was I went in there so much. I bought every ICP CD there. My dad must have took me there. He knew about it because they sold like metal shit, but it was a store where they sold like incense and shit. As soon as you walk in, you smell incense.
That was on Hamilton, right, in Whitehall.
Yes.
Yep.
But Record Connection was cool. He also, I remember he had like ICP posters hanging on the walls and shit. I remember I would see that dude at ICP shows too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, dude,
He was a legit juggalo.
Record Connection. But anyways, he had the Just When You Thought You Were Dead poster, which if you don't know, that's the most rarest poster ever.
I know.
And it was where like it looked like a hand that was holding up Jane Shag's like dreads where they were like cut off. Anyways, that store, the day Juggalo Brothers came out, me and my buddy Josh Graber, big juggalos at the time, we went there at lunch break. Our school was cool. We had an hour and they would let us leave if we wanted to, like go to Wendy's or whatever. We fucking went to Record Connection at lunch break and bought Juggalo Brothers the day before it came out. Because
awesome,
we called him, we were like, "You guys have Juggalo Brothers?" They're like, "Fuck yeah!" And we went in there the day before it came out. He was like, "Just keep it on the low, We bought Juggalo Brothers, bumped that shit the rest of the day, and skipped school. It was one of the best days of my life.
I remember back when we were like pirating Juggalo shit. Juggalos were the worst at ripping shit. It was always
They
like
really are. You have to rename everything.
Yeah, they couldn't name anything. They'd put it in an MP3. It was like a wave file and shit. It's like, oh my god, dude.
WMA format, like 64 kilobytes.
What do you expect from some straight up gangsters? Like gang affiliated people.
I downloaded a torrent from Pirate Bay and it was like so horribly tagged. Like you can't add it to anything because it's just all fucked
I
up.
go to the Juggalo chat room and soul seek and shit like that. Just like try to take their shit and be like, what the fuck are you people doing? You not know how to do anything with audio files? But and I was too lazy to change anything, so it was just however the fuck it was how I listened to it.
But the cool thing was buying the fucking CDs and shit. Like that was their packaging was so fucking cool, and you wanted both versions. Like, I mean, the holding it and having the artwork was like a huge part of.
Yeah, oh
the
yeah, it was an
experience.
experience. You had to have the physical stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Like just like to open Malenko and like to see the 4 have risen and there's still 2 more to come and the whole thing, like that was just all so fucking awesome, so badass.
I remember when I first started listening to them, I got to see. I didn't know what they looked like really, so just to wasn't on the internet, so like just to open the CD and like see what they looked like and stuff was like a big deal to me.
Yeah.
Their
I mean, it was
imagery
such a weird,
so fucking cool.
They came up at such an interesting time before like right at the crack of the internet. So it's like a weird like boiling point of like everything, you know, like the internet was just becoming a thing, and so was ICP.
They literally are one of the last like bands that put in footwork to get where they're at.
Yeah, that's so crazy to think about.
Like, think about that, man. There's not many people that do it like that or did it after them like that.
And it was as good as it was. Like if it would have been just a few years later, and like that whole like golden era that you're talking about, like had iPhones been a thing by then, like it wouldn't have been as good. It wouldn't have been as fun as it was.
They literally had their greatest hits on tape.
Yeah,
that's a sure sign.
That's one of my favorite albums of theirs, by the way. I love that.
Mutilation Mix.
Yeah.
That was always one that was really hard to get. It wasn't in print for a long time. And if you wanted a legit copy, it cost a lot.
I remember them selling that at the Great Malenko show or the House of Horrors show I went to, and I was like, what the fuck is that?
They finally reprinted it.
Yeah,
and, I got it at a gathering somewhere.
I have a copy of the CD and the cassette, both sealed. Like, that's one of the only things I kept. I don't know why, but I have both.
That was the cool thing about the gathering too, was they always released fucking new CDs there, and there's always, they still do. Like Smoothie had his like buddy getting them shit from the gathering this year, and
that Hell Cellar thing. Oh
yeah. Well, like, I mean, it's cool that they do that. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool, but it's a piece of shit.
Yes. Yeah, right. It is. Like, this shirt was legendary up until they released it. Like 2003 gathering, they re-released everything. It says Insanity on the back.
Yeah.
Did you anybody listen to the Willoughby Rags Bag of Poop thing?
I did.
I haven't listened to it yet.
That one's actually better than Hell's Cellar.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about. What is that? Talking about
they released 2 CDs at this past gathering. One was Hell's Cellar, which was cuts from Hell's Pit, and then Willoughby Rags Bag of Poop was just another little fucking thing that like they threw together. But those songs are better.
It was a free. That was a free CD.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Did you get the physical of that, Smoothie?
No, you had to be. They were just handing them out. They handed out their seminar. So
you couldn't get an extra.
All right, so there's no way that anybody is going to be able to argue with me on this one. The best gathering released CD that they ever released was the first Dark Lotus album,
without a doubt.
That's the best.
And that was the 2001 gathering, so that was Kyle and Derek's first gathering. Do you guys like remember that coming out at the gathering and shit?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That was our second gathering. That was Peoria. I remember.
Oh, was that Peoria 2002 then?
And Riding Dirty at the same time.
Yeah. I can't remember which one, but I remember we were at a gathering and like that fucking CD was huge.
Hatchet History came out at the same time.
Yes,
Gang Related. I remember bumping that all weekend.
I didn't even really know what Dark Lotus
and
was.
That was the very first Dark Lotus concert was that weekend. They played on Saturday night, and that was the first. And it was the only time they ever played with Mars.
Yeah, you're right.
The one with Mars is so fucking good, dude.
Yeah, that's obviously the better one.
Yeah,
I actually re-listened to the part of the ABK one because that's the only one on Spotify. I was like, God damn, it's like a stark difference with it when he jumps on the track. ABK.
Can we all agree that the Mars version is the superior version?
Absolutely,
the only version in my book.
Yeah,
thank you
for the Tales from the Lowe's pod. That's definitely the only version. Now, since I got in later, of course, my first experience was the ABK one. Like, I really didn't even have a chance to listen
because that was the only one in the stores at that
point. But you didn't have a chance by the time you got into it. You were already fucked.
But I did, like, later on, I was that same record store. I was just going through the used stuff, and there was the red version. I was like, sweet, $6, copped it. Then I ended up having like a little purging as well. I needed the money, so I sold a bunch of stuff, which I regret. That was one of the ones I sold. I've ripped it, so I still have that version. But definitely,
did you like the Mars version better than the APK version?
yeah, I definitely do because it flows naturally. It was
Mars shines on that album. I think.
Oh yeah,
like he keeps up, if not like fucking outshines some of their.
And I think there's a very damn good chance all of his shit.
Him and Jay,
dude. Jay anyway. I think Jay wrote all of Mars's parts.
Yeah.
I think Jay, that was one of Jay's best when he, as far as his lyrical like ability, that was like he was at his peak there, but he hates that era. If you listen to him, he absolutely hates that era.
He was in a bad place at that era. He was also like
obviously
incredibly fat.
Yeah, but his lyrical, like the way he could rap back then was fucking amazing.
Isn't that incredible? By the way, let's mention the fact that he was so fat, like throughout all the. I mean, he wasn't like super fat back in the day, but he got so fat. And then Shangri-La. I mean, as corny as you may want to make this seem,
man, when
like
Shangri-La came out, he looked great.
That was the best physical shape he had ever been. He looked the best.
And we were all so excited about it. Like we all like saw him and were like so happy that he looked the way that he did.
His
like
energy during that era was nuts.
You could tell his happiness was at his peak, and that really like in a cult like fashion, like shined on like all of us. Like at that time, it was amazing. And
I remember when that came out that he was on. I used to listen to Loveline.
Oh yeah,
and they were on that talking about.
I remember that.
ICP was talking about Shangri-La at that time, and Jay was talking about how he just lost the way. He just kept walking, and he'd walk a little further, and then he'd walk a little further, and it was like he was talking about his happiness and all that. It was like, oh, this is actually really interesting to listen. This is really good.
He's inspiring when he really when he really talks about the shit he's been through. It is inspiring.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that was one of the reasons why I disliked Hell's Pit as much as I did, because there was like the whole shine of Shangri-La and then like the darkness of Hell's Pit. Like it all just felt really fake.
It
was trying to be fake. He was trying to be dark when like he was not in a dark place. And I think that's what made it a terrible album.
They should have definitely done Hell's Pit like right before Shangri-La.
Yeah,
right before he got to that point, like he probably could have. They could have written easily.
I mean, I think
darkest things.
I think "Walk Into the Darkness" is one of the darkest fucking songs I've ever heard. That and "Crooked Preacher Killers." Like everybody likes to shit on that song, but
I couldn't stand the beat of
Preacher
Killers.
Both of those songs I think were like really like I mean hard hitting. I mean they're not like inspiring or anything.
I mean, coming from an audiophobe, that album is horribly mixed.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is.
Just mastered bad.
I think it's mostly Esham production.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Just bad.
And everybody hated on Shangri-La because it was done by Mike P instead of Mike Clark.
Was their best.
He did a fucking great job.
Mike P was fucking incredible.
Yeah, he was
a
real fucking deal.
Mikey Clark is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but Mike P, goddamn.
I think we kind of got screwed out of the perfect ICP album with Mikey Clark having dropped off by then. But though, to be quite honest, that was very.
It would have been incredible if they teamed up, both Mikes.
Yeah,
they did on Lotus.
Because it did suck that like once they released the 6th, that Mike Clark was not a part of it. Like everybody was very disappointed by that.
I think we really like in another timeline that would have been the perfect fucking ICP album, you know.
I mean,
there's a lot of artists that are that way though, that like they work with the same producer or whatever for a long time, and then like they want to like do something different and reinvent themselves, so they get a different producer, and then like that changes like what they do, and that's what Shangri-La was. Like it was a big difference from their other shit.
I still
that was the point.
One of their best.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think like I always think about this quote? Like I remember reading that Violent J said that they saved so many ideas from over all their years for the 6th. Like that was gonna be like, you know, shit they thought about for 20 fucking years. You know what I mean?
It shows.
Do you really think so? Because some of those songs, like, I mean, come on, like Birthday Bitches, did they really save that for fucking?
That was
no, dude, you gotta keep that
song
one
off that album.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, like
Bitches, we gotta keep that one. No.
Candy and Popsicle.
We gotta wait for the 6th for that.
Did they really think that was the song that like this needs to be on the 6th? Don't get me wrong.
I think that was I think I agree with what you're saying. Is that was hype. I mean, that was just Jay
is
being the
marketing.
salesman that he is.
But honestly, like I think it was mainly just the concept of the album, the Wraith itself,
Sure.
and then probably like as an artist, I know you think about lines and shit. You think about just little pieces of stuff. It's not like it may have not been whole songs, but just ideas.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
what parts of
I totally agree with that.
what parts of the Wraith Shangri-La do you think ICP waited 20 years to tell us?
The Wraith itself, the actual
The ending of it.
yeah.
Do you really think the
That
God
they weren't
thing-
sorry that they tricked us. That's what they
Yeah, the whole God thing, I
But
do believe.
I
yeah,
think that was
for
such. I think personally that's a cop out because everybody knows. I mean, I listen to "Pass Me By" and I know what the fucking Dark Carnival
Yeah.
is talking about.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I
right.
mean? That was in 1997. I didn't have to wait till 2002 to find that out.
Which
The
was
people
one of the
who
best
really
fucking
got-
songs that they ever put out.
Yeah.
I agree.
the people that really got into the lore, they already knew that for
Yeah.
sure. But
mean-
that literally,
But they
that
came
is
out and
when
said
they.
it.
That is when they. lost-
But they just fucking straight up said it, and it was a huge pun. It was a huge exclamation mark by them saying it, and it pissed a lot of people off, like almost myself included. But I still liked the album itself.
I was just like, really, this is what they wanted. Really?
Yeah.
All right. Let's ask this. I know we keep like starting things, and I'm sorry. I feel like I keep taking over your show, but I keep having. I'm so passionate about this fucking topic.
That's why we're here.
We're hitting a bunch of shit.
That's
So
why we wanted you, Kyle.
Yeah. Like when you guys, I know Scott, you listen to you and Smoothie. Honestly, we're both kind of after Shangri-La, so you may be. I don't know how much you'll have to say about this, but like, what was your Brandon, especially? What was your experience? And Derek, what was your experience when you listened to Shangri-La?
I'll go first on this one, actually.
Yeah.
Just-
Go ahead.
It was definitely obviously after, so I came in right at the end of that, and like I said, one of my biggest regrets is not staying for ICP at Wicked Wonka because they perform.
yeah,
Let me ask you this.
good.
Let me cut you off. When you listen to ICP though, were you already hyped up for the 6th, or was the 6th like one of the first ones you listened to? So it wasn't.
No. So I watched, like I said, I after hearing that little bit and thinking more about it, I think I went and I think the progression of events happened. I went and downloaded Riddlebox again and listened to that. And I was like, this is really good. And I think I reached out to Scotty D and he hooked me up with the tracks. And then I checked out the Homies video and I was like, this is awesome. And then so I went, and that's when I got the rest of the CDs, and I legitimately listened to Carnival Carnage, Front Ringmaster, Riddlebox, Great Malenko, and then went and got I didn't buy them all at the same time. I listened to them, then went out and bought the next one.
did it
And
the right way.
and then when I heard, I was like, this, it put that exclamation point, like you said, on what they were trying to say. And I know my beliefs and views are a lot different from yours, but like I think that said a lot to me, and that hit home to me, like that whole album front to back. And they had the goofy, the goofy songs like Birthday Bitches and everything, but when you get to the unveiling,
The last two songs are
Crossing
shit
the
got
Bridge
real
is
fucking
pretty damn good,
serious.
too.
just like setting it all up, it's like, here we're still up until those last two songs, we're still the goofy freaking clowns that you've come to know. And yes, if you listen, like, even you could pick up that message most certainly early on, and they kind of break it down within the liner notes, with the stories. And I think the whole storytelling aspect up to that point, and going through it the way that I did, going back all the way to the first one and reading in each and every booklet, which is nice about the physical copies, the whole story of the Dark Carnival and what each Joker's card represent. And then just to be hit with that piece, I think that was like the capstone. And I think that was well executed. And I could go back and say, like, I don't have a problem with Hell's Pit, but if they released that first, I think that would have been better. Obviously, I think we all agree on that, because I think it would have been more impactful. And I think, like what you were saying, Scott, I think if they would have done that one first, when he maybe was not at a good place where he was,
When they couldn't be forcing the dark shit, when they
like if they, because the way they
like Dark
painted
Lotus.
the picture the way they painted the picture for Hell's Pit, they said, you know, the world, the wickedest shit. It wasn't that wicked. There were the one or two cuts and everything, but they were still the goofy.
There's shit on Riddle Box that was more wicked than anything on Hell's Pit.
Well, and another thing that Hell's Pit did is they'd have these relatively dark theme songs, and then Jay would be like a third of the way through the song, be like, "Oh yeah, I haven't rapped about killing yet," so he'd do like a killing spree verse, and it'd just be like that he's like shoving raps into the lines really terribly. It was really stupid.
I honestly truly
like
liked
Night of the 44 and
I thought Night of the 44 was cool because it was a play off of the Night of the Axe, which was fucking off their first album.
That was one of their better songs on that album.
I thought that song needed to be done, like, and I didn't know it at the time, but once I listened to it, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm glad they did this. But
I like the Angels. I like the later part of that album the most.
Yeah, the fucking the one about the girl that in my room.
Yeah,
tap tap tap. I like that.
That was another one where he's like, "Oh, I haven't rapped about murder yet, so here's the third verse about a murder spree for."
I don't know.
But literally, the last song on that album is the best thing. The little like fucking.
Who took the chicken off the fridge?
Yeah, I mean like that
was the best thing.
If you put that on, it's
terrible.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm with Brandon on that. That was really fun. It had nothing to do with.
I just liked it because it was just a funny beat.
I think that's what you're saying. Sorry to cut you off, but that's exact. I appreciate Real Underground Baby for that aspect. Like I can still put it on today, and like 99% of the time, as soon as I get to the who took the chicken off the plate, I pause it and I get on Twitter or Instagram and post that and just wait.
Dude, I like it too. And the beat just dun, 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 dun.
I feel like Suicide Hotline is an ICP classic for what it's worth. People hate on that album as much as they want. That song, even if you don't love that song, that is a fucking ICP classic.
I'll say that song is great. Really fucking depresses me.
I agree. I mean, I'm with you. I think that's the point, though.
I think that song is the worst mixed song that they had on the album, though.
Really?
It doesn't. I agree.
It sounds like shit.
Wow. Okay.
No, that whole album sounds like shit mixed, man.
Yeah, they did a terrible job on that album.
Well, I think Shangri-La is the album they wanted to be the sixth. I think that was what they wanted to release.
So why did they split the damn thing? I thought that from the beginning. Why split? Why was there two of them?
I think that's
duality thing.
I think that's just marketing. They've been doing that since fucking Great Milenko, man. Having several name an album they haven't released since Great Milenko that didn't have several editions. You know what I mean? I think
I had to buy 4 different copies of Milenko's so that you could put the 4 different pages together and it would read out the whole thing about the next Joker's card.
But with the Wraith, like I see what he wanted to do with the Wraith. Like one says "come with me," one says "I'm taking you" or whatever. Like I get that whole
about death. Yeah, so one's about.
But they could have put that in one album.
They could have just threw a couple songs off of Hell's Pit onto the Wraith and maybe shuffled some shit around. It would have been, I think, an ideal album for the sixth.
But as far as mastering and mixing, the Wraith itself is amazing.
I agree. I'm with you. That's probably my second favorite ICP album of all time.
All right. Let's get into top 3 psychopathic albums.
Okay.
So who wants to go first? All right, I'll go first. I guess number 3 for me would be.
Wait, hold on, Scott. This is not counting ICP? It's just everybody.
No, this is psychopathic because this is supposed to be Juggalo, even though
are we including ICP in this since we've had that discussion, or is this non-ICP?
Do you want to do top ICP?
I think it should include everything on Psychopathic Records.
That's what I was going for. Yeah.
Okay, I just wasn't sure.
I didn't know if you want. Did you want to do also top? But we already kind of did top.
I say we could do a top 3 ICP and a top 3 psychopathic.
I could definitely do both.
All right, let's do that. Let's separate the.
All right. Let's quickly go through them so we don't waste a whole bunch of time, I guess. Yeah. You guys like to keep your podcast pretty short, right? I could go on for 6 hours.
Yeah, we're not
going to go a little longer.
So I'll go top 3 Joker's cards. Let me think. We'll go Milenko, Riddlebox, Milenko, and the Wraith.
Number 1 is Wraith.
Yeah, for me. The Shangri-La, obviously.
No one's gonna argue with that, I don't think.
And for Psychopathic, I think I'd go with 3 being Green Book,
Ooh, hell
2
yeah.
being Shangri-La, and 1 being OG Dark Lotus. Hands down, I can still listen to that album.
That's a
even
good
out of
top
my
3.
Juggalo shit. That is easily I would say that even that would be top 10 favorite of all time. Is
Wow, nice.
Original Dark Lotus. It is like almost flawless.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
The mood that they fucking set with that album is just
They did it.
fucking,
Yeah,
oh my
the
god.
concept, the beats, the everything that they just,
and the closure with the last song
Juggalo
on the
Family,
album was just, I mean, it was fucking beautiful. And like singing that like with people in concerts was like,
that was
some of the best times of my fucking life.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck
That's like one of the things I remember so vividly from the gathering was when Dark Lotus finished and everyone was just walking back to their campsites going Lotus and shit because they finished with Juggalo Family, obviously.
Yeah, so awesome.
That was so good. People were just screaming at the top of their lungs, Lotus.
Our Psychopathic concepts that they've done, that is one of the most consistent, like, good ones they've ever put out.
Yeah, for sure.
And the build up to the first Lotus album was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then every Lotus after that just subsequently worse.
Yeah. The second one I really liked. I really liked
Black Rain.
But it'll never top the first one.
No, hell no.
And if we're what other top 3 should we do? Like super groups?
Well, hold on. You told your top 3 of both, right?
Yep.
Both of them.
Didn't we just
All
do
right, Kyle?
Psychopathic?
Yeah. My top 3 ICP are probably Great Malenko, then Riddlebox, then Shangri-La.
Okay.
Not much to say about that, but I mean, I think those 3 albums are in all honesty, they're pretty interchangeable, but
yeah.
So if you're telling somebody the best shit of all time to listen to as far as ICP goes, those 3 albums have to be in there.
Yeah.
As far as Psychopathic goes. Yeah, as far as Psychopathic goes, I mean, if I want to separate it, Twisted's best album without a doubt is Green Book. Then
I don't think that's arguable at all. That's 100%.
That's one of my favorite albums of all time. Green Book, then Dark Lotus for number 2. Dark Lotus Tales from the Lotus Pod, to be specific, red cover, and then Great Malenko. I mean, that's just, it's without a fucking doubt for me. That's the top 3.
Okay.
Let me go next.
Sure.
Yeah. So the ICP albums top 3 would be Ringmaster, and this is probably going to be a little weird, but I actually really love Bizarre. So I'm just going to count.
That's not weird.
Which Bizarre?
Both of them. I'm just going to count that as one.
I thought they were really good albums.
I count that as one album. Like the mixing and shit, and everything about that album, I really like. Just coming from a musical like standpoint,
they do get kind of overlooked. I love both of those albums. They're really.
I love Ringmaster, Bizarre, and Shangri-La. Those are probably my 3 favorite ICP albums. And then as far as Psychopathic,
spray it all over the place, Kyle.
Let's see. Definitely Dark Lotus, the red, and then Wizard of the Hood is like probably one of my top favorite Psychopathic albums of all time.
All right.
And
I kind of agree with you there, man. I like that.
Dude, Wizard of the Hood, like as far as conceptual albums, Wizard of the Hood is fucking amazing.
It is amazing.
Freaking great album.
Yeah, and then probably Green Book too. I'll put that in the top 3.
All right.
Yep.
Awesome. Smoothie.
Top 3 ICP. Wraith being at the top, of course. And probably Riddlebox and Malenko, just because they were there. And my honorable mention, actually, I really enjoyed The Tempest.
Okay.
Yeah, Tempest ain't bad. I do like The Tempest.
Yeah, that one gets overlooked a lot, but I think that is a good like follow-up to their biggest album of all time. You know,
It was a
I actually
follow-up to
liked
the Calm, which was
I hated
that fucking thing.
The Calm
I
was
think
good.
Calm was better than Hell's Pit.
I tried
really?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not, man.
Calm is the worst shit ICP's ever fucking done. Bad Moms, or whatever the fucking song's called, is the worst ICP
That
song
wasn't
of
a
all
great
time.
song. I just like the experimentation they did on that album.
Oh, it was trash. I'm sorry.
Off the Track is the only good song off that album.
Off the Track is a great song, man. I love
agree.
that song.
That song is a really good embodiment of like them just saying like, here's what comes next. We don't know, you know.
I just like it was open. Like
Yeah.
they didn't know where they were going.
That aspect, you did kind of get that feeling from that album. It was literally just like as a Juggalo, like it's like after the 6th, this is literally their next release. What the fuck are they gonna do? And
of course they go into another set of 6.
and that album was a very unknown time, and they kind of did get that feeling of like, we don't know either. Here's what we got though, you know. And it was
it's unfortunate because they the whole story of like the first 6 Joker's cards and shit, like that was so unique and that was so creative and so cool.
Especially considering it was dedicated to the butterfly.
Yeah, it was. And all right, so one of my favorite like Juggalo memories of all time.
Smoothie still has to do his top 3 psychopathic.
Yeah, let's not overlook Smoothie. He's over there all quiet.
No, because
Sorry, Brandon, but
I want to go back to the
butterfly thing.
The calm. We'll talk about that. The calm, the Tempest thing too. In that, the calm wasn't the greatest album, obviously, and I agree with the unknown part. The only part of the Tempest I didn't like, it's like you see that nice peaceful like.
What's their cover art? Because it was
a roller. Forget the bad photoshopping. It's like, where does the roller coaster come into play? Like, would be
it made no sense.
It would be a good, you know, the Tempest.
The calm wasn't a roller coaster, was it? The calm was the desert thing, wasn't it?
No, you would think the calm before the storm.
Yeah, and the Tempest all of a sudden was a roller coaster.
But was a roller coaster. You know, a Tempest is a storm, but they made it a roller coaster, which I didn't get. And
easily the worst cover art they've ever had.
Like I said, I like the Tempest and everything, but I think if you play more on the calm before the storm, and then the storm, like tie that into Bang Pow Boom to lead into the next 6, I think they could have did better tie in.
They could have had a lightning bolt make another set of Joker's cards.
Yes, the calm before the storm of the second deck.
All right.
You know,
I'm gonna keep it real.
I can see where you're going with that.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm glad they started the second Joker's card. Yeah, that's right. I'm saying it.
Well,
I'm glad they started the second deck
because they were lost without him.
Exactly. They don't know what the fuck to do. I mean, this is all they know. This gives them purpose. If it keeps them going, more fucking power to them. I can't wait till the second 6th Joker's card.
All right, Smoothie. What's your top 3 psychopathic albums?
Yeah, let's hear the actually like
sorry
on psychopathic.
You're good. I'm just trying to make sure he doesn't get stepped on so much.
No, that's fine. I would have to definitely agree with Wizard of the Hood. I think that
love that album, man.
To back like that is
some of the best rapping, some of the fucking best storytelling.
It's an amazing taking a song. I mean, taking a whole concept. Obviously, it's based on the Wizard of Oz, but
it was. Sorry, go on.
No. But taking what started as just a song, like years ago, the Wizard of the Hood, and making a whole story out of this. It was phenomenal. Like each track, I'm going to spend a lot of time on this. Not a lot, but
go for it.
I mean, Jay really was at his peak with rapping ability at that point.
I agree.
Yeah, that was the moment that he was at his best. I agree.
Yeah,
but I mean, just aside from just like him, like the whole like
the camaraderie, like them being able to come together and do that,
the way it fit so perfectly, and picturing these, and like even like the smallest details, like one of the fun things that I picked up, and I don't know if anybody else had picked this up, was Shaggy when he's unveiled at the end as being the Wizard of the Hood, and he's like, I've been here for 9 years, 8 days, and a month. If you do the math and like rewind that back, he's talking about the day when Fuck Off was released.
Oh,
it was because I went back. I was like, why?
I did not know that.
If
There's
you
some
go
more Juggalo for you.
Juggalo.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
It's if you go back and look, because it was released in like July. Like I think Wizard of the Hood was released in July. And 03, and you subtract that, it goes back to 94, and like the month it puts it at like July something 94, whatever it is, but it makes sense. He's like, I've been here for this long, so he's been in essence waiting for Jay's solo album for the time.
That's great.
But like those little
Good,
like
that's a good find, man. I never knew that.
I didn't know that either.
Go back and listen to it, and you can figure out. Like I haven't been able to figure out look at Shaggy's fucking agreeing with me. Yeah, you're right, Shag.
It's that you got the fucking calculus going around.
That's like awesome fucking lyricism in that case, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And like it was just so perfect. And I would love to see return to that. And like I was just watching the other day, somebody re-upload it, I guess, or because I thought I saw it before, but the whole set from the like that final gather there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That like it was awesome to see, and it was like kind of sad at the same time because like there was
they were beefing at that point.
They weren't on 100% terms, but like I think
they hadn't unveiled it yet to the masses, but they were like having problems at that point.
They were having.
I think that beef goes back way longer than
it goes back to at least 04.
And
actually to Green Book.
Talking about
Twisted and ICP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Green Book. Yeah, Green Book is when it started.
Yeah, because they tried to do their own label back then.
Yeah, Green Book.
Yeah, remember what's his name that had fucking
Tom Dub
with the Magic Ninja shit on his.
I actually don't know what happened with Tom Dub. I don't even know that. I've heard some people talk about that, but I have no.
Someone or something like that. I don't know.
I went to Waffle House with him once.
Did he have the tat?
All right, we're not talking about Tom Dub. We're talking about fucking Wizard of the Hood right now. So
all right, go for it.
Let's get back to it. Friday.
I would put that in my top 10 without a doubt.
It's definitely my top 5.
Just to finish my point with this, but like yes, they were obviously clearly they had to be beefing, or there had to be some kind of small animosity, growing with the group. But I think that performance, I think it was genuine. Like I really think like at that moment they felt like old times. They like want to take it back. Yeah. And you see when like I saw that like you couldn't really, the way the video was shot, you couldn't see the full thing, but they flashed a picture up on the screen when they were near the end of the album when he's talking about going home and everything, and they flashed it. There was a picture of ICP, and I believe it was just Twisted. I don't even think Blaze was in it. And to hear like the crowd's reaction and like even my reaction, it's like, wow, that may never happen again. Like there may never be that time. So I just think it's that performance was great, but that album overall, it's probably my top, favorite.
I feel like I missed out on that album. I didn't really get into it. So
what album was it?
Wizard of the Hood.
Oh yeah.
Hood.
I forgot what we were talking about, but yeah, I love that. Also, one of them.
What are the other two there, Smoothie?
I would say I like Tales from Lotus Pod, but since I didn't get the, I do enjoy the first one, but since I didn't come in until later, I love Black Rain. That's my favorite Lotus album, because I think at that point, because you had ABK, at least he was part of that from start to finish. He wasn't just thrown.
Yeah, he was great on that album.
Into the album,
he shined on that one.
And then
I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, nice lisp. And I like One Less G in the Hood. I really
that is a good one.
The prank call at the end was probably the best part of that album for me. You saw
that one was produced really good.
It was definitely a good album, and my honorable mention one, I would actually say, what was? Oh, I said Black Rain. I like the Green Book as well, but I also enjoy Abominations.
Oh, I don't think I ever listened to that one.
I didn't either. I've never listened to that one.
It's a pretty solid album, and they'll even say too. And
that's their last Psychopathic one, right?
That was their last Psychopathic one.
I hear a lot of people talk about that one.
They Twisted themselves even say that's their like best album. That they put out.
I have to check it out.
Like Royce the 5'9" on that shit or something, right? They have like legit rappers on that one, right? Is it Royce the 5'9" on that?
I don't. He might have been. I have to go back and look. I'm not sure. Like Proof was on Independence Day.
Okay,
Yeah, Proof was dead after after 06. So
yeah, I'm not sure the dates with their albums. Twisted, I didn't follow them as much.
No. Brandon, let's get our 2 top 3s in from you.
Top 3 ICP. I mean, Malenko or Shangri-La. I don't know which one is number one. And then probably either Riddlebox or maybe Ringmaster even. Well, probably Riddlebox.
Yep.
Top 3 other ones, number 1 for sure, Lotus.
Yeah.
Green Book. And I think Freak Show.
Oh yeah, that was a good album.
That is a classic.
Yeah, I agree.
My memory. I haven't listened to it in at least 10 years.
I kind of look at that as their first fucking real like psychopathic album.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Most Tasteless was that was psychopathic.
Most Tasteless feels like their like compilation album of all their best songs at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Freak Show kind of was like the first like, this is Twisted and like what they're gonna do and shit. Like Freak Show was that moment for them.
It was like we're introducing you to Twisted for real. Like here's their first real album, like shoving it in your face.
Like at first, like they weren't sure how they were gonna like package Twisted and what Twisted was gonna look like and all that shit. And then like once Freak Show came out, like that's when it was like, here's what we're doing with Twisted.
October 30th, 2000. With Bizarre Bazaar.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Same day.
I got them both.
Yep.
All three.
All three. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
ICP are marketing. Oh, you changed shirts again. I went to that tour too.
Yeah. Psychopathics from Outer Space.
I love that logo though. I just love the coloring and shit on that.
Their artwork is just so damn cool.
It's just appealing to the eye. It's simple, but
Yeah. Wicked Wonka tour. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My Wicked Wonka tour shirt had bone. I got the bone.
Hell yeah. Y'all got this? You got this, Smoothie?
I got the Bone Thugs one.
Oh,
same font, same thing, but I got the bone one.
That's probably more rare.
Mine's signed by Lazy, so.
Oh shit, that really is.
I think that was one of my favorite songs on the Green Book. Was the one with Lazy on it?
Yeah, that one was good.
Was it Hydro? Was it
yeah.
Now I do like. I guess it was in the sampler though from the Green Book. Like there was that like different version of Hydro, and Jamie Madrox had like a whole nother verse. I wish they would have released like the full.
Shit. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I'll have to go back and see. I think it was the Green Book sampler.
The samplers were cool as hell. Fatter Whack was cool.
Yeah, I remember that. Fatter Whack.
Fucking Fatter Whack, man.
It was cool how they like kind of introduced like their next albums and by doing shit like that. Also, again, like very creative.
Again, yeah, genius, creative. I mean, it was.
Hell yeah, you got copies of Fatter Whack. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I also got Mad Professor single.
Yeah, that was awesome
that
too.
shit. Dude,
Yeah,
this
I had that one.
when I got this blew my fucking mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yuckle Brothers is an honorable mention as far as their
fuck yeah, it is.
Goddamn, their storytelling on those songs, like I mean, it's just incredible.
Mad Professor was
Echo Side was
ICP song I heard.
And then there's Bitches.
That song is catchy. It is really catchy.
It is such a good
Fatter Whack's got it's got fucking Snoop Dogg, the song with Snoop Dogg on it too, the Shaggy Show. But look here, it talks about the Twisted and Juggle Brothers.
Look at Twisted.
I told Derek earlier. I remember buying
that shit. Their hands out like this and their mouth open.
Yeah, I bought the Twisted album and Significant Other by Limp Bizkit the same day.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's the most 90s ass shit I ever heard.
I went to the same damn record shop you did.
Yeah, I got all the Pendulum albums too, all of them.
Significant Other was my shit when I was that age. Oh god,
that's always the funniest one with Red.
Yeah, I still have all my CDs, but like none of the cases or anything.
Yeah, I never sold.
I have a book full of CDs, but no cases.
When I had my purge, I never sold any of the ICP CDs, save the like I don't know how rare it is or how much money it is now, but
I kept every one of mine.
the Cypher CD that was like an exclusive or something. I forget what it came with. The 4 ciphers when Twisted was still on there that they did back in the day. They really you pre-ordered something and you got the free CD and it was only released that way. And I sold
I
that.
don't know about that.
Yeah, there. I'll put that up in the green. I think I have the Green Book sampler somewhere on my computer.
I actually got the original pressing of Green Book.
Oh, that's nice.
That's probably the rarest Psychopathic CD I have.
I definitely know mine's the.
Was the original press of Green Book? Does it differ from what they have now or something?
Oh yeah, it's like Twisted actually re-released it on under their new label and everything. It's completely different.
What'd they change?
Just the artwork and shit.
They don't
It's
have
all-
like the see-through clear. shit.
It looks pretty. It looks a lot different. I mean,
Okay.
by the like, if you just flash it real quick, it looks kind of the same. But once you start really looking at it, there's a lot of differences between it.
Gotcha.
Oh, I have the Psychopathic one, but I think that was a re-release of the original Psychopathic one that they just reprinted later on. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was that.
I actually held on to that one the very first time I bought it. I held on to it. I don't know why I never sold it.
Well, let me ask you guys this. I know I was a merchalo for sure. I know not all of you guys were.
You don't say.
What was all of your guys' rarest, coolest ICP item or psychopathic item you ever owned?
Damn.
I mean, I had a Hatchman charm once. That was nice, and I sold
That's
it.
awesome in itself.
I think those bobbleheads are pretty damn rare now.
Yeah, they probably are. I think that's why I've held on to them. They sat on my desk at work. These guys, they might actually. they're just in a box under my basement steps here, so they might go back with my Funko collection that's on my desk at work.
I haven't seen those in years.
Yeah, same.
So, I got these guys, and I guess they're pretty rare. And I think the most rarest. I want to say rare like this, but when Jamie Madrox released Fatso, he released the Earth 2 version. It was an alternate cover, different, like it was all pretty much remixes, and it was only about
almost a whole other album.
Yeah, and I had that, and then when I needed the money, I sold it. But I got like
hard to find. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they only it was only available for a limited time on.
I've never even seen that.
It's cool. It has a cool like comic book like zombie cover. It's pretty neat.
Seen that shit.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
It's a guy. The nice thing was I ripped all the CDs before I sold them off, but like not to have that. But I did get like $60 for what I paid $20 for.
That's sweet.
So that probably was the rarest thing I had because that's always the album that people are looking for because
Really, that's the one.
Yep. There's other ones too, but like that's one of the ones I know.
That's crazy. You wouldn't think that that's the most forgotten album. I feel like.
I think just because it was
and the Supervillains one.
I think because it was released limited like that. I think that's why it was so rare because you could.
I would say probably the rarest thing I would know of that exists as far as albums go would be the original Riddle Box version that had the Head PE songs at the end.
I had that.
I don't know anybody else who has that. I wish I had that.
I have that in my CD book still today.
To me, that's probably the rarest ICP item that exists because I don't know anybody else who has that.
I don't even know of this. What is it with Head PE? Riddle Box.
They're on Riddle Box?
They were. It was. I think at that point, were they on Island at that point? And like Island repack it. What was it?
They repackaged
Jive, yeah. So they repackaged the album and they put some Head PE songs at the end. Head PE was on tour with ICP at that time, so they were just trying to promote them.
I didn't even know Head PE was that old. They've been around that long.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever heard of Head PE.
I didn't start hearing about Head PE until like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
See, we heard about them before then. Yeah. My rarest things would be either that or I had the gold Malenko that had, instead of having to put all 4 of those panels next to each other.
That's like one of the rarest things I've ever heard of.
I've never seen that in my life.
Wasn't there? I heard about a white Malenko. Was there ever a white Malenko?
I never heard of that.
No, not that I remember.
The gold Malenko, I would shit a brick if I saw that. Like the original.
That's fucking great. I wanted,
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good one, man.
Like I said, I didn't fucking pay rent sometimes because of the shit.
Jesus, man.
You had your priorities. Not
Well,
having a home, but
or-
having.
Smoothie already told us. What about you, Scott?
I don't think anything I had was rare. I can't think of a single thing, to be honest. I
You said
had
you weren't
whatever was.
much of a merchalo anyway, right?
No, I didn't have a whole lot. So, trying to think. I don't know. I probably like the only things I probably got was whatever was exclusive at the gathering, like the third Psychopathic Writers CD I got at that
Oh.
gathering. That's the only thing I can really think of.
Probably not
And
a
that
lot.
kinda
Of
fucked up.
That's probably pretty rare
What
at
was
this
that, like
point.
duck the fuck down?
Yeah,
or
duck the
something?
fuck down. Yeah.
I
That's
think
a little
Riders
Buddha,
is like
right?
one of my favorite things that they ever did. I wish they would redo that shit. I don't know why. I really like that shit.
What Riders?
Yeah, I always
Yeah, all their albums. I love that stupid shit.
I think they're Ouija and Light are supposed to be doing a ride at, like they're supposed to be doing a new ride at, like Young Lil Riders.
Young Riders, I think.
I'll listen to it.
Oh,
I don't
they're not.
mind
ICP's not going to be on that.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Jay
okay.
said in the seminar this year that they're strictly just concentrating on them ICP, and that's
Fair
it.
enough.
Yep. And that's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
and-
like that. Might be like one of my favorite groups from Psycho. Well, technically not Psychopathic. Joe and Joey records. But
Yeah.
I really liked the Riders. It was just it was goofy. It was them being all gangsta with
That's how they were able to get those beats and release them, was going to
That's how
that
they could
Joe
sell
Joey.
them, because if they had to, they could just shut the label down and that was it.
Yeah.
Brandon just ducked the fuck down and ducked the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
But they were all masked and shit. Nobody knew who they were. Like there was no way they could prove it. So it was genius. It really was, man.
That is pretty smart. Oh shit. The rarest shit the rarest shit I ever owned was, well, I'll tell you, because I did an ICP purge about 10 years ago where I sold all my merch like
Man,
that I
such
knew.
an idiot.
I know. I wish I had it to this day, just to show you guys, but I did have some pretty rare posters. I had the chicken hunting like riddle box poster where they were like in the city and it was in the background and shit. That was pretty
That
rare.
was a great poster.
There was a ringmaster poster that was pretty similar where they all had very small dreads. But the rarest thing, I didn't know that was that rare, but when I sold all my shit, it made me the most money. Was I bought a ring at the first gathering I went to. It was a Psychopathic ring. It was pretty fucking sweet, to be quite honest. It wasn't like made of rare material or anything. It was like sterling silver, but it was a pretty big like ring, it looked like a fucking class ring or a bowling 300 ring.
Yeah.
But it had it had Psychopathic records in a circle around it and had a Hatchet Man in the middle and had like little Hatchet Man and fire on the side. It was cool. I wore it here and there.
I
but
remember that ring.
I paid $50 for that motherfucker. You know how much I sold that for? $250.
Holy shit, man.
Can you fucking believe that? That was that I did not know that was that rare, but when I sold it and it went for that much, I was shocked. But I did also have a fuck off charm and a Carnival of Carnage charm, which I sold for at least what I paid for it, which was pretty cool.
You might want to get Brandon back in here. It looks like he's gone.
I reinvited him. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, okay.
Aw,
He
man.
just sent a message saying invite, please. So maybe he needs another one.
I did have one other thing that I was really proud of was at around the time that I was in my height of juggaloism, around that 98, 99 period.
Juggaloism.
my dad was so cool.
Cult.
I need to give my dad props because he was so cool. He like somehow for some reason supported me because up until this time I never cared about anything.
You were like the closest to Vinny that I ever knew, man. Like you literally
I really went crazy, but my dad was so cool about everything. And
they could have made a documentary about like your juggaloism years, man.
At the time, maybe, but we went on eBay. He created an eBay account just because I wanted to buy a Psychopathic charm. And like
That was when eBay was in its like when it was brand new.
Yeah,
Like,
this is like 98,
Jesus
99.
Christ.
And-
eBay's been around that long.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Jeez.
I wanted a Psychopathic charm, and the coolest thing at the time was to get a diamond cut Psychopathic charm. Do you know what that is? That's where it has
Oh,
like
yeah, dude.
like every quarter inch there was like a little like line like around the outline of it where it
Oh,
kind of looked
yeah.
like it was shinier.
It made it like it made it look like they beveled it or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Yes, it was called diamond cut. But to
Yeah.
get a psychopathic diamond cut charm at the time was so hard to do. But my dad went on eBay. Fucking God bless him. I had a job at the time, but I had money and he helped pitch in. And
Oh,
he
man.
bought me a psychopathic charm at the time. I was probably 14 years old. Dude, that was the greatest fucking purchase of my life at that point. I had that it was a 2-inch psychopathic diamond cut charm. I felt like I was the fucking man at the
You
time.
were the Juggalo king.
I got married and wearing a fucking fake ass gold Hatchet Man charm.
That's
Like
so
fucking wedding fucking pictures. I have a fucking fake gold Hatchet Man charm. on.
And how do you
I
feel about
can't
that?
take it back.
I can't do that.
that's awesome.
Well, at least
dude.
you didn't get
Should've
married
been
at the gathering.
man.
Did you wear an ICP shirt or come down to an ICP song under the moon was playing as you were walking down the aisle?
And then that game was playing.
Cemetery girl.
These old cryptic collections too, Kyle. Did you have these? I know you had these.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
dude.
Those
Yeah.
were-
I had Cryptic Collection 2, I think.
Fuck yeah.
Those
You're
were
not
super rare after a while too.
I could get my CD wallet. It's literally organized in chronological order of when they came out. Not
Mine
kidding.
was, but now mine's all over the place.
Oh shit. That's
The
so
Hello Wicked 2000 CD. Did you have that one? That came in the
still have that
Juggalo
one.
pizza box that they gave out at Hello Wicked 2000.
That's actually got some good songs on it.
Did they have Dead
Yeah.
Body Man 2000?
I no, I don't think it was that one. That was before.
I had me and my friends bought tickets to Hello Wicked 2000. It was in Detroit, and I had my ticket in my room, like stashed under my CDs, because my mom didn't know. Wait a minute, it had to be 99 because I still lived at home at the time, and I lost my ticket. I think my mom came into my room and found it and stole it because she didn't want me to go to it. And then my friends went to it and got like the CD and shit, and they like brought it back to me and everything. But I missed the fucking show that all my friends went to because I lost my fucking ticket to it.
Wow.
That actually might have Dead Body Man 2000. I don't remember, but I know
The
it had
Hello Wicked songs were pretty dope.
Yeah, they
For a
were.
long time.
the 2002 Hollow Wicked CD was pretty damn good.
It had Juggalo Party and shit on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juggalo Pot. That used to be like.
All right. Did any of you guys ever meet ICP, Twisted, any of those guys?
No.
I met.
That's a great question.
I met ABK.
I know. I was with you, Kyle, when we met Twisted and Blaze in ABK.
Those pictures we were looking
Yeah.
at earlier. Yeah.
I never met ICP. Honestly, no, I never did.
No.
Nope.
I
I didn't really want to. Honestly, I never really wanted to.
Yeah. See, we were like the show's over, go behind back of the venue and wait for them to come out. And like, we met them a ton of times. We met all of them a ton of times.
There was one time that I walked up to them and I didn't even know it was them. It was 99 and they were behind the Newport and it was before the show. And I was just going back there because I used to go walk back around the fucking shit and smoke weed and stuff with my friends. And they were standing out back. I didn't even know it was them. I walked up to them and asked them for a fucking lighter. And it was Jay without his paint. And I didn't know. And he fucking literally was like, dude, get the fuck out of here right now. Like, yeah,
Whoa,
he
really?
Yeah, he told me to fucking bounce, dude. Like he was a dick.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. He had like 3-4 people with him, and they looked like they were getting ready to beat the fuck out of me if I walked up any closer.
That's
That's
awesome.
crazy, dude.
And then when I walked away, I started looking. I was like, that was fucking Jay. And ever since, and after that, I never wanted to fucking meet him.
wow.
Yep.
Holy shit, that's surprising.
I know, man. I mean, I don't hate him for it. It was before the show, and he was just getting ready, and he probably didn't want to be fucked with. I get it.
Yeah.
But he probably thought I knew who he was.
what show was that? Do you know? Like what year, maybe?
It was the JCW show that came here in
Oh,
Columbus in
okay.
'99.
So yeah, they were popular enough where he probably thought you were just fucking with
Yeah,
him.
like I didn't even know it was him at first. He probably thought I knew, and I was going up
Yeah.
there to fuck with him.
Right.
I thought it was just some dude. I was going to ask him for a lighter.
Right. That sucks. That's a shitty time, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the only times I met him was one time after a show. I don't remember which show. It was probably Jack Brothers or soon after, but we actually followed the bus after the show. I'm not proud of it, but we followed the bus after the show to like their hotel, and I seen them like they got off. We waited and they got off the bus, and we saw them get off the bus, and they were wearing wrestling masks. Both of them were, and Shaggy like dipped the fuck out. He like obviously was just like rushing to. He did not want to be fucked with. He knew this was like the kind of shit that dumb asshole juggalos like me did.
Some John Lennon shit.
But we saw Violent J, and like we saw, I was like, Violent J. I mean, this is the very first time I ever met Violent J. 99, 2000, maybe. I was like, Violent J, hey, Violent J. And I walked up to him, and he was wearing his wrestling mask. He was cool. He stopped for a second. He was like, what up, man? He shook my hand, like gave me a dap. He was like, all right, man, have a good one. You know, it was nothing special at all. But I remember at the time, I was like, oh my God, I shook Violent J's hand. Oh my fucking God, I cannot believe I just shook Violent J's hand.
That's so great.
That was at that time, that was the best moment of my entire.
How long did it take you to wash that hand? How many days did you?
He still hasn't washed it.
People joke about that kind of shit, but I literally felt like that for a couple days. Like I was like, oh, I cannot believe I shook. At that time in my life, it was
like
such.
Bart got the spit in his hand from the.
Yeah, it was seriously like that. No, like, I mean, legitimately, I probably washed my hand that night when I took a piss. But for real, I did feel like that. I had that feeling for like a while. Like it was just so surreal to have met my fucking hero's hand.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah, I get it. It's just
That's cool that he was cool about it, man.
Violent J was at that time, and the only other time I met him was they did a Dark Lotus, or I mean, they did another like in-store thing where they did like a. They came to like a Halloween attraction for that Halloween, and we like just gave him a dab and said hey and like left.
See, I don't count that as meeting them.
I don't either.
I went to those too, and I don't count that as meeting them.
The in-store, I feel like I met him because I went to the in-store. They did a Dark Lotus in-store after they released Tales from the Lotus Pod. ABK was not there, and they all wore their Dark Lotus face paint.
Yeah.
I had my Dark Lotus face paint. And we met them, and I got a psychopathic poster right over here that I got signed by all of them. Violent J, Shags, Blaze, ABK. Or no, I don't think ABK was even there. It was just them 5.
Yeah.
But they signed it, and that was the only other time I met them. Well, what was cool is I went through, and it was pretty basic, like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. But I put on a mask. I had a Jason mask that was painted like Dark Lotus. I put it on the mask after I went through, and put it on and went through again. Like for some reason they didn't mark off my wristband. So I was like, fuck, I can go through again and meet ICP and Twisted again. Oh my God. So I went through again, and I wore my mask. And what was cool is I had like I wore a ninja mask. It was a t-shirt folded like a ninja mask. And Shaggy was like, always be a good ninja. Always remember, be good by the ninja way, or some shit like that. And then I met Violent J, and he was signing my shit, and he was like,
be good by the ninja way.
Yeah, he really gave me some like real ninja advice because I was dressed like a ninja. And then Violent J was like, oh, you know, ninjas are shady. Always be wary of another ninja. Like, you know, you got to be careful. He gave me like opposite advice, which was so weird because they did not hear each other.
Yeah.
So they both gave me ninja advice that was opposite of one another. And then I got to Jamie Madrox, and I actually made a point. I was like, I made some comment like, oh, this is my second time coming through, or some shit like that. And Jamie Madrox got mad. He's like, oh, you motherfucker, like there's other people waiting in line and blah blah blah, ticket sales and yada yada. Like,
you piss off Jamie Madrox.
Yeah, he literally yelled at me. I'm not kidding you. He yelled at me because I told him this was my second time going through. He yelled at me, and he was mad at me because other juggalos hadn't got the chance. And I went to, I mean, it was at that time, it was very, very, very disheartening. Like it really like hit me hard. You know,
And
for
then-
real.
yeah, and then you bitch about their hat prices, and then you give
Yeah, I
it
know,
down.
right? And then I went to Monoxide and he was cool. Blaze, he was cool, and I got out of there. And I had a great rest of the night. But that's
He's
always
smoothie.
stuck with me. Like Jamie Madrox was always an asshole to me. And I'm pretty sure when I tweeted that shit about their hats being too expensive last week, I'm pretty sure he was the one that tweeted at me.
He's like, I
got mad
remember
at
this
me.
dude. He went through the line twice. I'm gonna bitch at him again.
I
Yeah.
remember that motherfucker.
They're charging
remember.
$45 for a fucking hat. Don't you think that's ridiculous?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's all I'm
But
saying.
Ouija's
Hey,
charging
Brandon needs
$40
another one.
for a T-shirt
Oh, that's pretty
on
bad.
Psychopathic. But you know why?
Why?
Is because he's on Psychopathic, but they basically don't do shit for their artists anymore.
Yeah.
They have to be
Never did.
complete. They have to be completely independent on their own. Like they have to do everything themselves.
Let me ask you this. Would you take that deal?
The Psychopathic deal? No,
No. To
fuck
be on their label, but you still gotta like kind of hustle.
no.
I would.
I guess,
I don't-
It'd be hard. You have to have a lot of money up front to do that shit. Though.
I would never make that kind of music to even be on that label.
I would do it if
I
they
would.
approach me like right now and say like, "Hey, I heard some of your old music, and if you want to keep doing it, like, I mean, we'd like to hear what you got, and we might put you on Psychopathic." Without a fucking doubt, I would absolutely take that just for the sake of having done it.
If
I'll
I was
revive
with
the
somebody, I
dark
would do it. But for
horse.
me,
Yeah.
solo, no.
I hear that. I could feel that.
Real quick to talk to that point. You know,
Brandon needs an invite.
oh shit!
Sorry.
When the hell did he disappear?
Then
Again?
Brandon-
Like 10 minutes ago. He.
Oh,
Send them an invite and
Brandon.
keep talking, I guess.
yeah. Sorry. Go on.
Because we are getting, you know, where was it? Like, we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes here.
Yeah, who cares?
Going back to the point what Derek was saying there, how the artists are pretty much on their own now. With after the seminar, Violent J made that very apparent that they're focusing on ICP. Did you all see with the new Underground Avengers CD that Light was supposed to be on the one track?
I heard
and
about
got
that.
cut. It's funny to me because obviously I would have to say Violent J had some input into that as to why that Light got.
Without a doubt. Do you
And
think
it's-
Light will be on Magic Ninja in the next couple years?
I don't think so, but,
After his contract runs up. Be like,
maybe
"Ah, fuck
after his
this."
contract runs out. But yeah, but like,
That
but
seems
like-
to be the trend.
but I mean,
They're
you,
gonna have to, man. Every fucking artist can go over to Magic Ninja. They're never gonna be able to compete with the household name ICP is.
that's true,
None
and
of them will.
and but that's what going back to that point. It's like if you're going to make a statement like, you know, the artists are free to do what they want, you know, they're still psychopathic, but we're not, you know, it's up to them to make pretty much their end. But then how are you going to like blackball Light from doing a song? I mean, like this, like it definitely wouldn't-
represents psychopathic. I think that's
That's
about it.
I mean, that's a good point, but I don't know I have no clue what happened with that. But I mean, it's a good point for sure.
I mean, obviously, yeah, like it never was officially said why he got pulled, but they released a track list, and like this song, the last song on the album, it's called Thanos, and it's like a crew track. So it has on here Tech Nine, Twisted, Rich, Jelly Roll, Chris Calico, Crucifix, Blaze Your Dead Homie, and King ISO. And Light was supposed to be on this track. And here's a chance for him to go ahead and make that step that Violent J had spoken about. But for whatever reason, like, and it was never explicitly stated that he was removed from that track. So, and I appreciate Light as a rapper. I really enjoy his music, and it's a shame that he's only ever released a
Yeah, it sounds like they're being some haters, to be quite honest.
Send Brennan an invite.
I did. I just
Oh, you
did.
did? He just put a question mark in. I'm just watching the chat. He must not have gotten it. Send him another one, I guess.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to send them an invite
I was
too.
looking for that too. Just all of us bombard him with an invite.
I don't know how, so fuck it. But
Anyway,
Um,
I mean,
as far as
big
Light and
one.
Ouija goes, like I think they're a good. In all honesty, I'm not a fan of either of them. To be completely
Me
to be
neither.
completely honest, like
I listened to both of their albums front to back like a couple months ago.
I like
Right.
we do.
I thought that Ouija album was pretty good.
I listened to both, and I thought they were okay. Like I don't think they're like. In all honesty, listening to them, it wasn't something I was like, damn, like. I like that a lot. Like I'm gonna keep listening to them, and I'm gonna recommend them. It wasn't that good.
Light can rap, but I don't like any of his songs on his album.
I think. Well, I think that was
I agree.
wasn't the
His
great
songwriting's mediocre.
He is a good rapper, though.
He's
He's a better songmaker, but it's just trap. So that's the problem with
Right.
his shit.
Right. I agree 100%.
But if he wasn't trap, he is a good songwriter.
I agree. He has what it takes, but that first album was not a good representation.
Like he's
of
got
his
energy,
skill.
he's got stage
Right.
performance, he's got flow. It's just trap.
That first album almost seemed like he was trying to appeal to like a dance like house type music.
Yeah.
Almost, it seemed way out of place for Psychopathic Records at the very least.
But again, Jay is not telling them what to do anymore, which is what we've all said he should
Yeah.
be doing.
Right.
He should never be trying to control them. He's not really doing that anymore. He's letting them do what they want.
What I heard of Ouija was just okay. It wasn't like
Every song is
exceptional.
almost exactly the same to me.
I do
on
think
Ouija
Ouija
record.
can flow though. I like his voice.
He was okay.
Okay.
I didn't.
There's
I
fair.
thought I was gonna play it and hate it, and I was like, it's.
That's still reserved.
Brandon, you drinking a Steely?
No, I
Hey,
thought about getting one for tonight, but I did not.
Smoothie, you were cut off like 20 minutes ago. What were you
No,
saying?
no. I was just saying about the whole situation. I like Light, and I like the. Well, I guess we'll call it EP. I mean, what is it?
I get a short album. Yeah, it's
but-
it's a
but-
little longer than an EP. I feel like, but
It's a little longer, but it's still not. It's not a full.
we lost Kyle.
Oh shit!
What are you doing?
All right, we gotta wrap this up anyway because it is getting late. But yeah, like, I think Light definitely could be good with the right guidance and everything and persistence. He might not be the best now, but I do enjoy his presence and his what he his
When he raps on other people's shit, it's actually pretty good.
yeah, like the cipher. I love his verse on. Like, I'm glad that they chose him to start that last cipher that they did.
Mm-hmm.
When he goes in, I just think he tears it up, and he has a longer verse, as does Ouija, because I guess they're trying to sell them. So, but I love his verse on that track. And that's
All right.
it. I have to pee, but we should wrap this. I want to wait for Kyle to come back.
Yeah, we probably should
I
have him
think
here to wrap up.
I honestly think I think we should do a part 2 because I don't think we cover. I mean, there's so much more we could cover.
Well, let's keep going until 5 a.m., man. Let's do this.
Hell no, I got things to do tomorrow. I'm surprised I've even made it this far with work and
Kyle's calling us. Or it's not how this works, Kyle.
That means he needs an invite or something
Yeah.
back.
I just sent him one.
Okay.
Oh.
You're up.
He closed it out. He said he accidentally hit X, so I guess he got to send him another one. Shit.
All right, we'll get Kyle back on. We'll wrap this up, but I think we should do part 2. Maybe.
So
Episode
this is
17.2.
episode 17 Shangri-La. The next one is episode 17 Hell's Pit.
My bad.
The next one's gonna be incredibly mediocre.
Yeah.
All right,
All right, so what's a good way to wrap this up then? Like what should we
Oh man,
all right, real quick.
come on! I could talk about ICP for 3 more hours.
That's why I'm gonna do another.
We were going to say.
Smoothie's saying we need part 2, but
I think we.
I agree with Kyle. I'm good to go.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
We're going on 2.5 hours here. Maybe even at 2. I can't even read Audacity right now.
Let's really go to bed. I guess the rest.
But
of us
I mean,
are gonna
hey, if
keep
you
it
guys,
going.
if you guys want to keep doing it, that's fine by me. But when I stop the broadcast, it's going to kind of ruin everything, right?
That's why you just leave it all going, I guess.
I could do that.
Come on, Smoothie. Just hang out for like 30 more minutes. Come
30
on.
minutes.
I gotta pee.
All right, go.
I've taken
I just left and pissed while you guys in the middle of you guys talking.
Yeah, look, Derek just went to go take a piss. He's about to come back. Look,
All right.
You have swing sets in your basement, dude. What the fuck?
yeah, for real. My kids swing down here. Come on.
This is way past my bedtime. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, but couldn't you talk about ICP for like 2-3 more hours?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm not
Jesus
denying that.
Christ, man.
I'd rather turn it
People are not going to listen to that.
Look, if we're gonna do episode 17, we're gonna fucking do it.
Fuck yeah. Woo, woo. We're
We're going to make it 17 hours.
Stop.
I mean, dude, I don't get out much. This is fun to me, so you
Yeah,
know.
still got some more weed to drink.
What's the
Holy shit, you're still on that 40?
weed?
I got one. Look, I got one story that like I've been holding on to and like waiting for the right
I
time
was
to
drinking
tell it.
Black Velvet and Fago, man.
All right,
before
you know
I
what?
got into
You know what,
that.
Brandon? What
Yeah.
I'm
Tell
gonna
it, man.
I'm going to go pee, and then we're
Oh.
going to come back. We're going to do your story. We're going to wrap it up.
All right.
If there's other
Wait
stuff
till
we
you
can talk
story
about,
now.
All right.
we will do part 2 to this. So,
Are we taking a formal break, or you just go? We'll keep talking.
Go
You
pee.
go
We'll
pee.
keep talking.
but I don't want you to do the story until I.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to go pee for now, so I will let you to it. And
Oh, you got your
Never
kid
tried.
up.
there's my thing.
Beat him.
There's your yeah. We know what happens now that he's walking away. It's gonna be merciless. You better turn your mic off because we're not gonna be able to put this up with all the screaming that's gonna happen.
Shit. What is Kyle doing? What's
I don't
happening
know
with Kyle
what's going
right
on
now?
over there.
He's doing the what is it? The Lotus chant.
Juggalo chant.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Oh, we'll never die alone.
that was great.
Juggalos will carry on. Swing our hatchet. We must each and every one of us.
I mean, you get chills thinking about like doing it in a fucking room full of people. It was
It
like
really
the best
makes-
thing ever.
It makes me feel so fucking good.
Yeah.
Just
It's crazy.
It's just the camaraderie, man.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
than ICP, what's your favorite group?
Oh, that's a good question.
Obviously, you have to take out ICP from that.
Are we talking about groups that everybody knows or like
Non-psychopathic?
shit that
Doesn't matter. Well, yeah, we can go with because I mean, Juggalo encompasses more than psychopathic, really. Group or artists or whatever.
So, but we're still talking like in the Juggle world, or like just
Juggle world.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just because recent events or what, because I would have to say the most other influential artist I've ever listened to that really spoke to me was fucking Eminem.
He's not Juggalo related. I mean, he is.
I know, but
and
he's the other artist that would speak to me as other than ICP and psychopathic artists. He's the next closest thing to me.
I'd say he's more influential to me than ICP ever was.
Really?
I'd still
Okay.
listen to Eminem almost regularly.
I
In
mean-
fact, I have been listening to Eminem regularly. That Kamikaze album is fucking amazing.
I agree. That other than ICP, he's the next step down, to me. Other than maybe Tech 9, it would be a very close
Tech used to be a lot higher for me. I've fallen off on him.
thing. I mean, Absolute Power era for Tech 9. What was that?
Fuck yeah.
2002,
It was
2003.
man.
2003. Oh my
2002,
God, that when Absolute Power came out, that was an amazing time for me musically. Like, I don't even really listen to music nowadays. Like, fuck Post
Yeah,
Malone,
I'm the
fuck
same
Joyner
with you.
Lucas, fuck all of them.
that album
Tech
taught,
9, 2003.
that album actually taught me how to put songs together. Like I was
Oh, yeah.
rapping before that album, but it was never like that album taught me how to count bars and make hooks and like actually design songs.
Yeah. It's
He just
classic.
made really fun songs to listen to, too.
Yeah.
I'm a slacker.
Just straight
Never
up.
gonna have a
Yeah,
lot.
that-
Oh.
Mhm.
Love it.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the best hip hop albums I've ever had. I've ever been a part of, I would say.
The beef between Eminem and ICP, now that years later, now that you look back, their disses were really dumb. Both of them.
I agree, but
It
I
was
think
all
ICP
just calling each other gay. That was
Right.
it.
at that
It
time,
was
I think
really
that was
dumb.
But
I think
Slim Anus was fucking hilarious.
It was.
but it was also just a giant gauge.
But even that Eminem ain't nothing but a bitch.
Nothing but a-
Eminem ain't nothing but a bitch.
None but a bitch thing. I'll go on record as saying is one of the best diss songs of all time.
And that song is funny, man. I really do. Like
I
that.
love that.
And I
fucking
like the
song.
beat because it's so happy and upbeat. Eminem ain't nothing but a bitch.
They kept that going well past the point of anyone paying attention to that beef, though. They just wouldn't let it go. It's like, all right.
But what
You
sucks-
guys had your shots. You just enough.
Yeah, like the fucking Eminem chant, like definitely got old after a while.
Fuck Eminem. Fuck Eminem. Yeah, that did get old. But you know what? They released Nothing But a Bitch thing on the Howard Stern show. They played the intro for that song, which was just them talking like, man, Eminem ain't got blah, 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 blah. But the song,
Is that a direct quote?
yeah, it was. But they never played the exact song on the Howard Stern show. Howard Stern only played the intro. I think if he would have played the, like even part of the first verse, it would have made more of an impact on the whole Eminem ICP beef.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate because Howard Stern was trying to give him airtime to play the song, but unfortunately they made like a 30-second fucking intro for their beef, which was unnecessary at the time. But nevertheless, I think Nothing But a Bitch song is a really fucking great diss song.
It is.
It gets overlooked.
I do like it.
And Eminem clapped back on Marshall Mathers, just calling them gay. Like, oh, you suck dicks, you're faggot, and
Yeah.
oh my god! Like I was just listening to that song today. I was like, wow, this has
Dude,
not aged.
Eminem
well.
has never really had a true battle from like an actual like good qualified MC.
No,
Like
because I don't think he felt like he really needed to go any further than just calling him out. And that's kind of what he did.
Other
Besides Ja
than
Rule.
other than the Bad Boy song or whatever the fuck, the Rap Devil song by MGK, Nothing But a Bitch thing is the best thing. The next
Over
closest
Shadow.
diss to Eminem that he has ever had. The Benzino shit, the fucking all the G Unit shit,
The Everlast diss was pretty damn good.
It was
was
good.
okay.
Yeah.
the whole ICP Eminem beef was pretty. As far as being on the rap beef scale, I think it gets overlooked. Maybe I'm biased because I was such an ICP fan at the time, but I think it was a pretty prominent beef at that time.
It was.
I will say the ICP Eminem beef I do feel was legit, but I think this MGK Eminem beef now is set up. I'm just gonna go on and say that I really do believe that.
Okay.
No, it's not.
You don't think?
No, well, for one, the reason why, I'm again in that
Whoa.
Can you, am I echoing again? No.
You are echoing.
You're good.
Are we on Eminem now instead of ICP?
I mean, just to talk about that just for a second, Eminem got him banned from being played on Shade 45.
Yeah, that's
before then MGK clapped back at him on that Tech 9 song on Planet. So it's actually legit beef because it all started with MGK calling in 2012 calling Eminem's daughter hot when she was 16.
Yeah.
So you don't think they could have talked about it behind the scenes, patched it up, and then said, "Hey, let's keep this beef going and like do a big thing."
Yeah, maybe, but if he's actually banning him from his radio station he owns on Sirius XM, that's kind of, I feel like that's more serious.
I agree. I agree with Scott. I think it's a little more legitimate. It seems.
Well, I didn't know
real.
that. I didn't know that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it seemed pretty set up. But I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, it's probably real. But
I agree that they're if they met in person, they would probably dap and shake hands, be friends. But nevertheless, I think this is the first cool, like good, legitimate rap beef I've heard in quite a while. I like.
It's been a
Since
while.
Macho Man and Hulk Hogan.
yeah, man, Hogan.
I was surprised. when-
don't be scared.
I love it. We just talked about that.
I know you did.
Go ahead, Smoothie. I think you were talking right.
Yeah, when I listened to that, the Kamikaze album, and then when I listened to Rap Devil, and then when I saw like my Twitter feed and my Instagram feed blow up with who do you think will Eminem?
Who do you think's gonna really win, though? I mean, come on.
But no, I'm just saying. I didn't
No one wins in these battles.
Right.
It doesn't do shit.
It's all just
Yeah, 'cause
publicity.
it's gonna be Eminem. There we go.
I mean, That's why MGK released a video on World Star Hip Hop literally the next day. And it's a dumb video. It's just to get people to watch it and listen to it.
But I was surprised with how big. Like, I got but I didn't realize it was going to blow up to be like that big, like that. Everybody and the mother was talking about it. I was like, whoa.
I think it's kind of cool because this is like, you haven't seen this shit in a while. It's the rap is just kind of just almost fallen to the wayside as far as any like sort of lyricism call out and shit like that.
It's pretty undisputable that Eminem is, if not one of the GOATs of all time.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that's part of GOAT, but yeah.
When he makes an album and he makes an entire song dedicated to someone, it's not going to be something that people just, blow past. But for that person to then make a diss that's as good, if not like a better retort, it's going to be something that's on everybody's mind, especially him being a white rapper at that against another white rapper. I mean, this is pretty unprecedented as far as hip hop rap beefs go.
So do you think there's anything that has to do with it, the fact that it's like two white rappers dominating things now in like a black cultured like music?
I think they're both.
That's like if something's going on. It's real fishy. Man.
I don't think it's orchestrated. I think it's more of them both taking advantage of the situation, because first of all, Eminem being the GOAT, why would he fucking even bother fucking with Eminem or fucking with MGK when he could just make another song like,
because he wants a challenge.
Sure, but MGK, why go after MGK? It's not like he's like regarded as some fucking amazing rapper or some amazing battle rapper.
But he is the next best white rapper that everybody knows of.
Sure, but I think it was good.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I think part of God damn it, it's echoing again. But I think part of the reason why he went after MGK is because he's kind of with Tech-9. Eminem is with Tech-9 as far as he did a song with them. They're on really good terms, and MGK he decided to get on a Tech-9 song and do an Eminem diss on the album that came after an album where Eminem was on a Tech-9 song. So I feel like it was kind of like that's why he felt like he had to go after him.
It was orchestrated without a doubt. You don't write those lyrics without the intent of fucking them getting to the person who you want to hear them. You know what I mean? He wanted Eminem to hear that shit for sure. But the fact of the matter is, he probably, in all honesty, didn't expect Eminem to retort. And the fact that Eminem did, that alone put MGK on the map if he wasn't already.
I guarantee you MGK had probably that song written before for a while.
He may have had some ideas because of the shit he may have already put on Planet. He may have had some ideas like, okay,
that came out the next day.
Alone makes that more impressive, because whether or not he even wrote the lyrics beforehand, he released that shit the next day. Then 2 days later had the fucking video. That alone is fucking impressive as far as rap beef in general goes.
I just think it's good for hip hop. But anyway,
I agree.
No, I agree too.
On the Juggalo shit. Brandon, what's your take on all this?
Well, no, forget that. Brandon, what's your story? Because it's getting late.
It is getting late.
Oh yeah, you have a story.
In case he's up there watching Kyle's Plex, God only knows what he's watching.
I can tell you if you want.
Well, what are you watching right now? I know he watched.
What do you have on there? I don't think I'm on your Plex at all.
Watched Cat in the Hat, Zoolander, Life of the Party.
I might need to get that shit again, because
I'll hook you up.
Cat in the Hat. That movie is like atrocious.
I got some emails from my ISP the other day bitching at me for downloading shit.
Yeah,
I get those.
Brian, your son's up there watching Elf right now, by the way.
Oh, that's fine.
Dude, in September.
I know, what the hell?
He's getting in the spirit early.
I just want to make sure I wasn't watching anything inappropriate. That's
ask him, be like, hey man, like, do you want to talk about something? Like, what's going on?
Do you have Elf with a different name? Like, did you mask something with the name Elf there, Kyle?
Ask him tomorrow morning if he wants syrup on the spaghetti.
Like, dude, you got a thing for Will Ferrell? Like, what's going on? Elf? I mean, come on.
Mom spaghetti. Anyway, what's your story there?
Mom spaghetti. Thanks for bringing it back.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon. Your story.
Brandon, tell your story, damn it.
It's story time with Brandon. We're gonna
That makes it weird. It really does. No, like I was gonna say, like, what was one of like your coolest, just like Juggalo moments? Because I had one that like I wanted to share. That was all.
Okay. All right, share it.
All right, yeah. So when I first like moved out of my mom's house and we moved in like with these the same guy that went to the first show with us, with me, Ryan, me, him, Liz, moved in together. And there was like Juggalo Central. Like you could like there was like tons of people that hung out at this house. And one of them ended up being from the old internet days from Real Juggalos, and before that, Brainbuster. Hardcore Mike was the guy's like screen name at that point, and he was really cool with Jay. Like him, they were both like actually like really good friends and shit. And so he stopped doing. Eventually, he stopped doing the Real Juggalos thing, and he lived in Columbus, Kyle. So we went to a show in Columbus once, and we hung out with Mike after the show. I guarantee you were both there. It was probably like 2000 or so. I don't remember which show it was, but we went back to this dude's house after the show was over, and he showed us, this was the cool part, he showed us this scrapbook that Jay personally put together for him, like thanking him for like promoting and like being cool with ICP like from the beginning and shit. And since he wasn't working on the site anymore, it was like a going away like gift or whatever. And like the scrapbook that he put together was all original like flyers that they drew up and ticket stubs and like super fucking like rare ass shit that only fucking Violent J would have. And it was like a 100-page fucking book that like we sat there and like went through with him. And it was like, it was so fucking cool.
That sounds amazing.
That's fucking sweet, man.
So that's like one of those like not many people got to see that kind of shit. And that was always, I thought, one of the coolest things ever.
The fact that Jay would do that for somebody,
yeah, exactly,
shows that he is a good person deep down.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, the dude put like a ton of fucking work into the thing that he gave to him for that, and it was super fucking cool.
That's awesome. I would love something like that.
Like, who would do that for anybody that you know of nowadays? You know,
I wouldn't put that much effort into something I would give my own kids.
It was cool. So I don't know. I wanted to tell that.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I would love
really
to see
cool.
that. I would love to just look at that.
Yeah, that's we sat there for a couple hours and like hung out, and he like told some stories that he had because like he was way closer into it than we were. And so it was cool hearing his stories, but like seeing all the shit was super fucking cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, that's kind of cool, man.
Everyone should just tell their best Juggalo memory before we wrap
I'll
it
tell
up.
mine. I'll keep it real quick. I actually performed at the gathering twice, so those were probably my coolest
Yeah,
memories.
I saw one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had pictures. Me and Derek before the show I have this whole chest over here that is full of all my old Juggalo shit. And we before the show we were just looking through all of it. Like I have a photo album with pictures of the gatherings we went to and just random pictures we took around the house and shit like that.
Memory lane, right?
Yeah,
there,
it
man.
really was like super nostalgic, especially looking through some of like just remembering wearing some of the shirts and shit like that. I know where I bought them, where how old I was and shit like that. It's so weird because there's nothing else in my life. I mean, as weird as it may seem, like I have a harder time remembering some of my child's like best moments, like, but I remember some of these weird Juggalo moments. Like, I don't know why they take precedent, but it's so crazy, thinking about it.
Me too, man.
That was such a huge part of my life at the time that, it's amazing. Like, all it's done and, done all the shit that I remember from my entire childhood and teenage years is all fucking Juggalo related. So yeah, it's just weird thinking back on them. Like, I mean, now I'm just such a regular old fucking nerdy dumbass dude that has a family and shit. But don't get me wrong, I do my shit and I take care of it. And
We're
I'm
going
still,
next year.
right. I'm still being creative and doing cool stuff, but the Juggalo years were definitely hold a special place in my my existence. You know what I mean?
I attribute a lot of my juggaloism to me looking for like different types of music, like the underground rap and like just it kind of, because it gave you that almost elitist mindset that like, yo, fuck the mainstream, all that shit, that dumb shit. But but at the time it made you like look.
I still don't think that's dumb shit. I still say fuck the mainstream shit.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm not. I can find appreciation for some, but not all of it. But it made you have to actually start. If you're not going to look for mainstream music, you had to actually look to find like other like that's how what I attribute to finding like new music is kind of like it kind of started with this whole Juggalo movement almost.
Yeah, I agree.
guess.
Yeah, they're like the catalyst to make me start looking for new music.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
That was the first band I ever really liked, you know. Other than that, I own like Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise single, and like
Fuck yeah.
Wallflowers
A single.
Wallflowers.
Dude, Wallflowers were solid.
One headlight on my favorite
Fucking
songs.
Oh,
Bob
man.
Dylan's son.
Yep.
Oh,
Hey, I love Bob Dylan, bro.
My favorite Juggalo memory was definitely Gathering 2004. The
Yeah.
whole thing.
Dude, that was
even though it almost got Aaron and I almost killed.
but it was totally
on the way
worth it though,
home.
right?
What the hell
Oh
happened?
yeah, for sure. We were just so exhausted and we didn't anticipate the drive home, because what we did was we live in New York, like western part of New York. We went to pick up someone else from the board who lived in Pennsylvania, which is, the next state over, and Ohio's the next state over. Aaron thought that, my brother, he thought, oh, we could pick her up. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. She lived on the East Coast part of Pennsylvania, like near Philly. And we live like near Buffalo, which is way the fuck on the other side. So we had to drive probably like 6 hours to get her. And then 8 hours from there to get to Brandon's house.
Amanda?
Wow.
it was
Amanda, yeah.
I do want to say coincidentally, like, I mean, I
High
know
on life.
Scott and Aaron, they have family like right around the corner from me, and have been this thing. But that at that time, that would have been the most opportune time to go because I lived like 20 minutes from Amanda.
Yeah.
That would have been the year to go to the gathering. Like,
Yeah, you should have. That was fucking awesome. That was
Well, my parents weren't living there at the time. They were obviously living in New York.
But no, I'm saying like you went to pick Amanda up, and
Yeah.
Amanda lived at that time. She was in like Allentown area, Easton area. That's like 20 minutes from Quakertown where I was. And
Yeah.
that was before Casey. That would have been my time to say, I'm in. Let's go to the gathering.
yeah, you should have.
Well, what happened is, after 3 days of the gathering, you don't sleep basically the entire time. We did the drive back to her place, then back to our house, and we were driving into the wee hours of the morning to get home, and we were so exhausted. Aaron was falling asleep, and then I only had my permit, and but I had to take over for him. And I was driving, and I remember like falling asleep at the wheel and hitting the side and hearing the. I was like, all right, I'm gonna pull off the next exit, and I just kind of pulled off and dozed off for a second, just parked and fell asleep because we were gonna die if I didn't.
Oh yeah, that was no joke.
We were beyond the point of exhaustion after the gathering, but still. Regardless of almost dying, Gathering 04, best Juggalo moment by far. That was
Hey, 20th is next year, and you can stay with one of us here. We live right by where it's going to be, so.
Well, that might be a possibility for sure.
I'm trying to talk him into going.
Are they doing it? Is that where they're doing it next year? Same place as last year?
Yeah, they said that from now on, this is their home of the gathering. They tried to go out west, and nobody would have them. They ended
Yeah.
up in Oklahoma, and it was one of the worst gatherings because of the cops. So they came back
really?
to Ohio. Yeah, they came back to Ohio this year, and they said this is where we're staying.
Well, if you guys are legit about going, like I might not be too opposed to going also.
Yeah,
Let's
dude,
do it.
it's literally 20 minutes away from where
Yeah.
we're at right now.
Smoothie,
We-
you gotta
I
go.
went-
We gotta do a fucking unknown podcast from there.
Yeah,
The first is that the same place that me and you snuck into, Kyle?
Yes.
No, it's different. It's
No, it's the same. We snuck in and
you snuck into Legend Valley.
yes, and that's where we ran away from Tara when she got her. So
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta hear that.
Valley.
it was the same, wasn't it?
No, Pataskala and Legend Valley. But Legend Valley is a little further. Than
Oh,
Pataskala.
maybe it was Pataskala.
Yeah, so it's a different spot, but not too much further.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I
Can't
thought
wait.
it was the same.
No, they've actually been in 3 spots in Ohio.
Right on.
Nelson Ledge is up by Cleveland,
Yeah.
Pataskala, and then Legend Valley. Legend Valley is the
You ran
one.
away from your wife.
Yeah, that's like a legendary story with my group. We went to the gathering, we snuck in, we got caught like not having legit name tags, and we tried to run away, and Tara was pregnant with my second child, and she couldn't run, and we kind of like ran and left her in the back.
That's what happened.
It was a mess. It was a bad experience, but we ended up meeting back up and everything worked out. But
What happened with her?
Something
Did the
still gets
cops
brought up.
catch up to her?
No, hold on.
the
Listen,
cops
it
weren't-
wasn't the fucking cops. I was
No,
with
it wasn't.
Kyle when this fucking happened. The
Yeah.
person that fucking got pissed because we didn't have a fucking wristband on was Scotty D of fucking Fago Lovers.
Fuck
Yeah.
you,
Oh, yeah.
fucking narc.
He was like, come back here. And we fucking.
Oh, he takes his Juggalo royalty or some shit because
Yes,
he runs
that's
a
exactly
website.
what it
yes,
Fucking yark.
yeah, it was.
And I remember me and Kyle got back to Liz, and Liz was like, where the fuck's Tara?
It still gets brought up in my home like on a monthly basis.
Monthly.
You abandoned your pregnant wife.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Fago
much.
lovers.
Yeah,
That
pretty
was
much.
great.
Oh my god.
We all snuck into that
Yeah, I
one.
snuck in that one. I
Yeah.
just so many fans were like, so many people that were there that had tickets were looking at me so pissed off because
Yeah.
I was there without a ticket.
Because
fuck.
they spent hundreds of dollars and you spent zero.
Dude,
'Cause
but
I
that's
remember
what
we
happened
couldn't.
We live here. Of course, we're going to be able to sneak in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Kyle that let me know about it because I was only like an hour and a half away, but I couldn't afford to go or I didn't want to go I don't remember that year. But then Kyle was like, dude, like we snuck in yesterday. Come up and we'll sneak you in. No problem. And I was like, well, shit. Hell yeah. Let's go see ICP.
And it was really just walking through the front fucking gate. Did you
Yeah.
actually sneak in?
No, we just walked in through the front gate.
Exactly. There was no sneaking in. I walked in the front fucking gate. No one gave a shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except for Scotty D.
That son of a bitch. He's
He was
like
the authority.
militant juggalo. Jesus.
That's funny.
That's great. Hey, Smoothie, what's your favorite juggalo memory?
I'm gonna definitely make this quick because
No, drag it out.
3 hours.
We're at 3.
This is our best episode yet. Shut up.
Yeah, it is. My favorite Juggalo memory. I don't have anything spectacular, like abandoning my wife or sneaking in anywhere.
That's
or
pretty
almost-
spectacular, yes.
or almost dying driving home from gatherings or whatnot. But I mean, I guess just the whole experience for me has been pretty positive, especially coming in later and everything. And a lot of the other show that I saw ICP at was Bang Pow Boom when they toured for that. And
was-
just going to the show was a smaller venue, and my friends, of course, didn't really care for ICP. I convinced them to go to Hell's Pit with me, and I convinced them. Well, they went to Dark Lotus, the Black Rain tour, because Lazy Boom was one of the opening acts, so I could get them to go for that. But the Bang Pow Boom tour, I was by myself. I went up by myself, painted up like a wicked clown, and had a good time. But just that whole, when you are amongst other juggalos, as long as they're not, because there's of course the extreme left, we'll say, or right or whatever, like the crazy ones. But for the most part, when you're at a show, it is like a family experience, and that whole like the family, and it's just like that saying, hey, what's up, and people will talk to you, and just it's not, there's no need to be shy, I guess would be.
Yeah, there's no breaking the ice.
It's
no judging there,
Yeah.
your family and everything.
You know what was really one thing though, like a few years ago, I went to see Twisted. The last time I saw Twisted a few years ago, and it was like all like younger people that were all like fuck the old juggalos and shit. And, like it wasn't a cool vibe like whatsoever.
No. Yeah, fuck going to that new Twisted show.
But then the last time I went to see ICP, it was on the Malenko anniversary tour.
All old school dudes.
And it was all old people like me that ain't even into it anymore, but was like super fucking nostalgic about being able to see it again. And like that made it like a really cool vibe because of that.
Yep. That's exactly how it was the last time I went to him too.
Sweet.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
Anything else?
Oh, I mean, we probably could
Keep going.
No,
Kyle.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be taking off. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Hey,
anytime.
welcome. Yep, definitely anytime. It was great, and maybe we will do a second. I don't know. I mean, there's so many ways you can take the Juggalo stuff. You can take it to the beef section.
I feel like we barely even scratched the surface, honestly.
We can do a part 2 if you really want.
I definitely would like to do a part 2. And I think that will be coming up. We're going to do a part 2. Fuck it.
But I mean, I think it's super cool that like all this shit that we're doing, like us even knowing each other, all the fucking podcasts that we've done, like that all goes back to fucking ICP. Like if it wasn't for ICP, like none of that shit.
This right here wouldn't exist.
Yeah. I definitely think
Episode 34, dedicated to the Juggalos.
Dedicated to the butterfly.
Because
17 times 2.
Second deck.
The second deck.
The second deck. So are we really gonna wait another 17 episodes before?
I think you should definitely do a Fearless Fred Fury episode.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's come out.
I'm gonna let Smoothie take
That's
that.
coming out next month.
Yeah. Who's excited for that?
Not Smoothie. A little.
To be honest, I think Marvelous Missing Link Found is the best ICP album they've done since Shangri-La. I'll go on record saying that.
You're on
So
record.
I'm excited seeing what they have next, man. I as dumb as or fucking stupid as Fearless
name,
Fred Fury is.
and the fucking artwork.
The artwork is terrible.
I can't help but get excited when new ICP comes out. So I am still looking forward to it, no matter what.
I'm there with you, Kyle. I'm there with you.
Hell yeah.
I've heard a lot of people actually like the artwork. I don't really.
It's terrible.
It's really no worse than like Ringmaster.
Yeah, I guess.
No, it is not. Ringmaster's awesome.
I mean, but it's so simple.
It is.
It's simple, but it's okay. All right.
And we will talk
Agree to
about
disagree.
that on part Juggalo.
Yes.
I'm gonna cut it here. We got to stop.
All right, he's cutting us off. We got.
All right,
3
guys.
hours
Thank
into
you.
this
Thanks for
shit.
having me on, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Real quick, before we all go, as we always do, we'll go around here. Brandon, where can we find you at?
Captain Howdy 1027 on Twitter and Instagram.
Sweet. And Kyle?
At Special PZ on Twitter and Instagram, or iconoclash.net for my podcast, and be on the lookout for all kinds of cool new stuff from me soon.
And we're looking forward to that crossover episode whenever that happens.
Yes,
Yeah.
eventually.
Next week. No, I doubt it.
Yeah.
Derek, where can we find you at? Where can we stalk you?
I have so much shit. I don't even know. I'm on Facebook. Just type in my name.
You have a YouTube channel.
I have 3
Yeah.
YouTube channels.
Pimp that out. Tell people.
I've got 3 YouTube channels.
What's the one that that last time you sent me the link and said, "Hey, have you watched this?" It was like your little short movie thing that you did.
Yeah.
That was on my Lucid Creek.
Check that
one-
shit out.
Yeah, that shit was cool as hell.
All
Yeah,
right.
my Lucid Creek YouTube channel has a lot of freestyles and music and shit I do. I put a little short movie on there, and I'm actually working on a couple more little short movies I'm trying to get up to, but
Pay attention to this man. He's got all kinds of stuff in the works.
no.
I'll check
But
that
yeah, that's it. I don't really have like an Instagram or Twitter or anything.
And you got to start doing special effects in Ninja Land.
Ninja Land 2 coming soon.
I want to make another movie, dude. We got like if I wanted to team up and shit and actually like do another movie. I think that'd be cool.
It would be.
Hell yeah.
All right, so we got Lucid Creek. All right, that's where we're gonna check out. I'm gonna go subscribe right after this. Scott, as you finish your oldie, where can we find you? At?
Almost done with that piece of shit.
That's almost 3 hours worth of drinking.
I
That
know.
was
Well,
a great
I-
episode.
That
I
has
had
to
my
be
Black
asked
Velvet
at this point.
with my Fago. I finished that shit. So then I moved on to my 42 ouncer. Shut up, Smoothie. You don't understand.
I do
Anyway.
understand the power of 40. I know that after 3 hours, it's going to be warm and taste like real ass.
Yeah, it's warm as fuck. But, find me at the Garbage Bin on both Instagram and the Twitters. You can see me talk shit about things and try to get Wendy's to at me. That's what I've been doing for like a month for no reason.
Oh,
Listen to Dick Rippers.
Listen to Dick Rippers is a great Dark Forces song. It's a piece of shit. Just Google it. You'll probably find it. Make sure there's a Z in Rippers.
Rippers.
word. And I am, of course, Amir. Boy Smoothie. You can find me at INC Smoothie Entertainment on the Instagrams and the YouTubes and other places. And
Yeah. Wow.
well,
What's that one site that you were still on after everybody else gave up on
Fucking
it?
Vero.
Vero. That's it.
Vero, INC Smoothie. You can find me at all those.
MySpace.
We brought back MySpace.
We
for
tried to
y'all.
bring it back.
He spelled it wrong.
Yukon podcast.
So find me on
the
podcast on MySpace
whatever the fuck.
and all that fresh stuff. Our Facebook page, which hasn't been updated in a while, but the Unknown Podcast, and that's all. You can find us at all those places. It is late. It's been a great episode talking Juggalo stuff with these fine gentlemen here. I can honestly say I'm glad to be part of this community. And I don't foresee me withdrawing my Juggalo card anytime soon.
Gotta finish with a whoop whoop, right?
We are gonna finish it with that mighty whoop whoop. Good night, y'all, and stay tuned because there probably will be a part.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
I say stomp, you say whoop, whoop, stomp. Whoop,
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 whoop.
stomp.
Whoop,
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 whoop. It doesn't work over the internet, man.
Family.
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 All right, it's paused. All right, that was a good show, boys. All right.
Peace.
There's a lot of talking going on there.
Yeah, we went over 3 hours. That's good. Have fun editing that one, Scott, because you are our new editor.
Yeah, we'll see when this comes out.
I'll try and get.
You guys archive these on anything?
Yeah, they're all on.
Archive.org.
Yeah, that's exactly where they are actually.
Also, the unknownpod.com.
I mean, I don't know where they go. I don't know nothing about this.
This is broadcasted live on YouTube, so it'll be on YouTube. For
Oh,
sure,
it goes
right?
to
The
YouTube.
Howdy Inc.
We're still live
YouTube.
on. I haven't stopped the live stream yet, so we're still live streaming there.
Oh,
And,
sorry.
yeah,
That's all right.
we are on probably any podcast app if you just search us at this point.
Yeah,
We're
I don't
on
know much about this
iTunes-
shit, so I don't know.
on
what it
iTunes
goes.
and Google Play. I know at least, and I know that you can basically find us on most podcast apps because they just draw from iTunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, cool. Shit. Yeah. You.